The Apple event is ongoing. The beige book, Fed beige book is out. We'll have those news and notes to you throughout the rest of the show, and some great trading as always, and a special guest as well. The markets going into this release of the beige book and the Apple event are to the downside. We've had a pretty weak day after, again, a few days in a row to the downside, about 7 in a row on the NASDAQ side. That's leading the way down 0.75% or just more than that. The Dow in the red. S&P not doing as poorly, just under 0.5% to the downside. The TSX is down 1% as they had the Canadian Central Bank raising rates. Got a 75-point basis hike there. Still some pressure on the cryptocurrencies across the board there with Bitcoin and Ethereum trying to hang on to support. Just jumping over to the aforementioned NASDAQ, and you will see crazy strong board here on the NASDAQ. Like, you know what? That board never wants to update, and that's all. I'll have to get that position board fixed. Yeah, beige book coming out, and that's going to be a big mover there. You have Intuit, Regeneron strong, Match is pretty strong there as well. CTAS making some power moves. Netflix up 3.5%. They've been absolutely reversing a super strong move to the downside yesterday. The chips across the board are strong, led by Marvell, up about 2.5%. You've got a lot of beaten up names finding some strength here today. PayPal up 2.7%. We get Adobe earnings next week. They're up 2.5%. But it has been a bit of a reversal type day. We'll talk about a few names that have made said reversals, one of which had earnings. But before we do that, we're going to do that thing that we always do, which is go back, look at some of the trade opportunities that we had in the morning. What could we have done better? What could you have looked at if you're with the morning show, which you should always be every single day? We're going to lead it off here with Sean as he talks about one of his trades from this morning.
Thank you, and it's nice to see the NASDAQ rocking and rolling today. And yeah, we picked on a name. It was on our sticky note. It didn't quite hit our sticky note levels. The name's Meta, by the way. Join us every day live at tradertv.live for live trades, 8:30 every single morning. And also click that QR code below to join us at Day Trade the World. Start your prop trading floor today. Here goes Meta. Look at this. This is what we were waiting for. That's 156. That bottom came into play a couple days ago. I actually thought that we could get that today. That's what we wrote down on the sticky note. The market sort of started negative, but now you're up almost 2% on the NASDAQ as we just get that beige book release. But look what else we saw. So yesterday as well, this is actually into today. Yesterday we only fall down as far as about 157.70 or so. But look, if we were going to be willing to go long 156, then why not start right here? This is 157, right? So if you go back a couple days, again, there's just some consolidation there. So we didn't really want to put on too many big trades until we got back down below to that 156. But look, Meta actually, big move off the open here today. You can see it makes a bottom of 157.20. That's key, and I'll tell you why in a second. But there it is. The move goes all the way back up to the upside. We basically move about 250 straight up, right? So wow, okay. We know that they want to buy Meta today, and it's a pretty strong stock. So we actually put on our little patience cap and try to be as patient as possible, because as it's falling back down, notice the time. This is around 10 o'clock. As it comes back in the market, so does Meta, right? So here comes Meta back in. Now, I told everyone that we took 10% of our position at about 158. Why? Because look, in here, into the pre-market and yesterday's close, we kind of build out this 158. So I'm not sure. Remember what that bottom was, 157.20 there? Well, look, I mean, it comes back down, retest there again, 157.50. So we just start the buying at 158. We take a small piece, 10%, in case it moons from there. It doesn't. Then we fall back down, and then I just switch it up. I'm like, all right, let's take one against 157. But again, we don't have our full position yet. Those of you trading live, I take 10% there, another 10% there. And then as it comes back down and it kind of bounces, I'm like, let's take a little bit more. So I think we had about 25 to 30% of our position as it comes back up to the upside. Now, this is where we start to cash out a little bit. We take a few pennies as it comes back up to VWAP, testing that 158 level. But this is the key. You see how we've baselined here now? Now with more confidence, I can take more shares. Why? Because I don't have to wait for this 156 anymore. I'm willing to let this trade go if we break down below 157, which we've identified there. And if you want to take that wick, it's 156.80. So it's not that bad. So we can afford now at this point to put on more shares. So as it comes down, now we have our out. So if we're wrong, we can get out. But thankfully, not wrong. Look at this move. So then it comes and we put a full position on. It probably wasn't even a full position. We didn't get fully out of everything there. So we just probably take 50 to 60% more of our shares, add them to the basket, and then it's lights out, right? It's boom to the upside. We definitely hold that little level right there of 157. And again, Meta just starts to go. You guys all saw me there on the first show talking, and it was right when the show ended. Look, it's 11 o'clock, right when we end, where we bust through 158. There's 158 right here, this bottom. We really like that take. Blows up through there. We get out at 158.20. Then we get out at 158. Look where we're long, 157. 158, 158.20, 159, and guess what? We're still in. So we still have a piece of this meta trade as it continues to go back up to the upside. 0.77, it still has a lot to go. The NASDAQ's up like 1.8. This could even go higher. Look, as soon as you find levels, it doesn't matter where it goes. As soon as you find levels, you can be more confident. That's the key to trading, right? You're not going to be right 100% of the time. You're not even going to be right 70% of the time. But when you are right, you want to make sure that when I'm taking this bid here at 157.10 or whatever it is, my out is 30 cents at worst. My first take starts to be 50 cents, $1, $2. Now we're up to $3 in the money. So that's what it's all about. It's all about risk to reward. Some days you'll get blown out, but when you get charts like that, it's time to push all in, man. You got those aces. It's your trade of the day.
To be sure, a lot to cover here. I'm going to start off with Gsat, which is halted to the upside. We all know the Apple event is going on, but Global Star halted pending news, and there is some Apple news. They've announced an agreement to be Apple's satellite operator. Apple will pay fees to Global Star, and in addition to that, they'll make services available during the fourth quarter. The Apple event is ongoing. We also have the market moving around a little bit here as the SPY are making some power moves. I'm going to do this for you and just directly go over to the SPY, making moves to the upside as we have the Fed beige book out. So a couple of notes coming here. We just got off of those highs, starting with the forecast for future economic development has remained bleak, with contacts predicting additional softening of demand over the next 6 to 12 months. They've said early economic activity in July remains stable. 5 districts reporting slight to modest growth and 5 others reporting slight to modest softening. Consumer spending was consistent in the majority of districts. They believe U.S. households continue to trade down. Wages increased across all districts despite widespread concerns on a slower rate of increase and tempering compensation expectations. We've got a lot going on right now. We have the beige book out. The market is pretty strong, although we just dipped back in on some of those economic concerns. And of course, we've got the Apple event ongoing. It's going to be a wild one here and lots of positions to talk about. I know we're mostly long into a strong market, but this Apple iPhone has got to be front and center.
Yo, what's up? I was leaving it to you. I thought you'd say, hey, what's up, everybody?
Well, I was waiting, and I'm like, okay, what's going on, everyone? Hopefully everyone's having a great day, great afternoon. Yeah, watching this event, kind of exciting here. Yeah, man, the long into that. I mean, this was exactly opposite of what I thought was going to happen. And yeah, you know, thanks, Neil, for kind of reviewing their beige book. You know, price growth has slowed in 9 of the 12 districts. So I guess that's good news. This market likes that news. Now we're up 1.57%. You know, kind of steaming to the upside. I thought like maybe the 39.50 area on the ES was going to give some sideways action. I didn't really know what to expect. And, you know, Sean comes in, he sits down, and he's like, up, man, up. We're going to the moon here. And, you know, like that's it. I guess that's why his board is layered with longs, and I'm just sitting here flat, just chilling, kind of waiting for that next trade. But, yeah, definitely exciting. And, man, the price of that watch there, I don't know, of the Apple Watch.
This watch?
No, I'm saying the Apple Watch. Set, like, what is it, 700?
$799.99.
That will
get yours on sale.
That will.
But you know what? Neil actually brought up a good point because
that's crazy.
Garmin. It wasn't that, Neil. I was going to say his wife. Is a runner. She does marathons and things like that. And he was mentioning that the Garmin watch is also in and around $800, $1,000, things like that. So if you want to get some of those features as part of your watch, then you're going to need to do that. I'm not going to sit around and talk too much about the different products because, quite frankly, we were busy doing other things. You know about that, Luca, and so does everybody else. So, we were filming a few things. We had a couple meetings. So I haven't been able to review the actual release and what is in tune with all that. But I'm excited for it. I think as an Apple shareholder, whenever you can increase the prices on something, I think it's pretty elastic there for Apple. I think they can sort of, stretch that band. And I don't know, the watch they have now, I think is at $599 or something like that. So is it an increase? Sure it is. But as technology improves, I mean, look, we've had Tony on the show, and he talked about how, a Whopper used to be $199, and now it's like $399 or something. So, I mean, the prices of everything, honestly, has skyrocketed. We all know that. Even your Spros, man, have probably gone up 20 or 30 cents. You know what I'm saying?
Spros.
So, I mean, a lot of that continues to go, but Apple leads the way. I just want to talk about one other trade, because let's hit the siren for this. You guys know early on we talked about Starbucks. And yeah, buddy, talking about getting some caffeine, we didn't do anything different than when we left you. So this is me buying it at 10:30 in the morning show. You saw me do all of these trades, man. And then boom, now it's just starting to tick up, just like we thought. So we're trying to channel a little bit of holding here, and now we're almost out of the trade. But I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, that Starbucks was a name we stuck with. Why? And again, it just goes back to that trade of the day. And that is that once you can find a bottom that you can trust, and look, it can be tough to do. Like, you're going to have to put on shares. And I think that's the one thing that Luca and I, Neil, Brendan, anybody, Pratt, anybody that's on the show realizes that, sometimes it's like about focusing, putting on the right stock, putting on the right amount of shares at the right time. And we sort of have one of those opportunities where, we don't get to sit here every single day and make those decisions because we're just looking at so many names. Starbucks popped up. Why? Because of this move right here. So this is the one thing that I want to show everybody. Like, when it was relatively strong, it was in the chat, it was on some of our screeners here, and I was like, oh my God, Starbucks is up that 2.5%, whatever it was, against a market that was down. We find levels, we believed in this VWAP. If anything, you could get out down here, but my level was 50, so we averaged in, and then you take that profit back on the upside. So, you know what? Sometimes it's easy, most of the time it's not, but I think this was a good example here on Starbucks on where you can like sort of believe in the trade and hold it, and then get rewarded. Now look, the market's up. So, when you go long, sometimes those things just work out for you. But that's a good trade there on Starbucks. So anyways, Neil, just a little bit of talk there. Oh, Global Star, did you announce the news there? So they are the satellite operator for Apple. So it's an Amex stock. It is not open, but it's closed. It's halted, news pending here. And I apologize if Neil said this. I was Global Star announces agreement to be Apple's satellite provider. So to me, it's a shoots and scores for Gsat. This name probably moons now. Look at the chart, honestly. This is the 20-minute. It can easily get back up here. This is what it looks like on the daily chart. You can go a lot higher than this. Gsat is also a delist. I believe this name was on the NASDAQ, got delisted back down to pinks at one time, and then I down into here when it was 20, 30 cents. But anyways, this should be an exciting name. I'll have to double check that. I don't want people to at me for that, but I believe Gsat did trade at the pinks at one point, and it's nice to see that they've gotten a deal here with Apple. I'm excited for this to open back up. Unfortunately though, Neil, the tap right now is saying the exact close price. It's saying, I've never even seen this on a tap before. You see this D print here? So that's a dark pool print that somebody executed probably after it halted. No, it was actually the same second. So the very last trade is 175.92. That's actually where the tap is. So I'm not sure. I don't know if Global Star is going to open up again or not. But right now, big deal for Gsat.
I can tell you that I don't see a resumption time. Remember, when it's halted news-based, there's no actual, you don't know how long it's going to be. It's not 5 minutes or 10 minutes. They're disseminating the news right now. There's a whole list of stuff on Icon, but as you said there, the fact they did get the deal done. They're expected to deliver, be available in the fourth quarter. A couple of things we were mentioning there, but let's maybe just jump right into it with Apple here, because I think that's like the granddaddy or the leader here. They have several announcements. that came through for the new iPhone at least. You guys were talking about in the midday show, no SIM, virtual SIM, larger screen is going to be there. Obviously, there is also crash detection out there. The GPS watch is getting a lot of talk there, and everyone, you're going to mention about $799 for the Ultra, but $300 for the base model. As I was saying, if you look at Garmin, their main competitor, that is a pretty competitive price for the features that they're looking for. It is a higher end thing, but believe me, there's a lot of affluent people out there who are willing to pay for that high end functionality, as I suppose usually happens. Once the event is winding down and you get all the information out, there is a bit of a pullback. We are into a strong market. That pullback isn't very deep. It's dropped about 70 cents here for Apple. The market's been dragged higher here. Obviously, the market likes what they got out of the beige book. It seems like everything I'm reading looks pretty ho-hum as expected. But the Apple event, I don't want to say, I'm not going to call it for the phone. I'm not going to call it a nothing burger. Nothing, I guess, revolutionary. Maybe the watch is what's driving things. And then Gsat, that news seems like it's going to be a much bigger event. We hope that opens up soon. I'll try to get you, if I see a resumption time, I'll let you guys know as fast as possible. We'll keep our ear to the ground there. I think that's obviously going to be a big mover.
All right, yeah, thanks for that again. And as you can see, guys, here, Apple making the pullback down, but it's Gsat that we're all about right now, as that is closed, and you can see it's halted right now, Gsat, as it makes that move to 175. Let's just talk about some of the things here. Apple announcing emergency SOS via satellite. That's pretty cool. Globalstar also going to be receiving fees from Apple for this, so obviously that's important. They're also releasing some additional debt capital for new satellites. Globalstar will make services available during Q4 for Apple. Globalstar, we just mentioned that they will also pay fees. They see their year-end revenues now, 185 to 230 million. They plan to abandon their second-generation assets. Don't really know what that means, but there it is. So just a few things there for Gsat. They do have that agreement now with Apple for the satellite operators. So you can see Gsat to the not to the downside, halted at 175. A lot of upside available here for Gsat, obviously. And then as you can see, Apple right here, AAPL, Sean, on the NASDAQ. Now falling since we're done, but made a nice move, helped the market be up that 1.67%. To me, it's all about Gsat, and congratulations. Let's just see where it opens. It's definitely a liquidity event there.
Do we think it's going to open today at all?
So what Neil just said, I think was pretty important there. When it's news pending, all those halt rules don't exist. But yeah, I think they will open. I mean, what I just read out there, so not only was it a big news story, but they also guided with their new revenues. So to me, that's also important. So, they don't want to, obviously, Luca, until they announce that deal with Apple, I don't know what their revenues were, but imagine now what,
yeah.
So it's an SOS service. So I know their old watch, if you were biking or something and you fell, like you're by yourself or whatever, it could detect that you've fallen. And then it talks to you on your phone and everything like that, and your watch lets you know, and if you don't respond, then they send out that SOS signal. So I think it's an awesome technology for the watch and for the phone, but again, without knowing too much. Neil just reviewed some of it. It's better to check out everything and just trade price action right now. So yeah, look, it's falling back down. It's always the same thing. You buy the rumor, sell the news. So now that we're done, the market's gone for a jaunt here, and now you're pulling back in. But hey, we got out of some of our Starbucks. Oh, Starbucks is actually starting to head up to the upside, so that's okay. Our AMD is still $1 in the money, and we will get to that. But my idea for Apple basically is this is going to hold the keys to a lot of the market. However, remember, Apple can stay up and the market could still fall. I mean, it is a large percentage. It's 12% of the NASDAQ and I think it's about 7% of the S&P. These numbers are roughly changing every day. But I could see Apple sort of underperforming the market if the market does rip back up. This remains a pretty solid company. We bounced off that 154. That's going to be a real solid trade. And I think you just wait for it to come back down. Other than that, I would sort of stand put here with Apple today. But have you been trading it or?
I've been trading it, not my best day, I will admit, not my best day, but, with lots of learning experiences, kind of dancing around and, just no real conviction. I was like, I don't know, are we going up? And then we're going up. I was like, okay, I don't want to chase. So I added here, had a couple winners, thought, 156, we had some size there. I thought like we could really break through and go, but just wasn't showing me kind of what I wanted to see. And that was the reversal point. Try to very, very small long bounce off the 50 period. And I'm like, I don't really love this. I'm going to give it like a wider stop, like very, very small size. So not, I mean, this one looks worse, but not upset about this one, but upset about this one because I'm like, well, it kind of had that delay factor. So, is what it is. Sometimes you're not always going to be perfect. Some days are going to be challenging, but I do quickly want to talk about IMRA because this approached my level, $2 level. We're speaking about it in the morning. And I think, if you guys were watching Sharif, he was talking. He's like, oh, Luke over here. And I was just over here, man. And this thing was just ruining my day. Like I was trying to, as you guys can see, I was really, all of these are shorts. I was thinking short. Initially tried the over-under short over here, small size, a little bit bigger. Then we approached that too, and I was like, okay, this warrants, for me, this warrants max size. I think I can control risk. Kind of these were like break-even trades. Then like these, it doesn't look bad, but it was kind of bad. And then, we made a new high, and I was like, okay, go figure. Then we flushed, and this was awesome, man. Caught that, added to it, thought we were going to go. We didn't. And I was like, I'm done with the stock. Like, the stock is pissing me off. So I lowered my size, tried it a couple more times, which go figure were losses. And the last one being the worst. Look at that, man. Punching the lows, instantly ripping my face off. Thank God that was no size. And but this was just a reminder. I was like, okay, I'm done here. Like, I'm done here. And then that's it. I just let it go. No more trades. And this thing is just kind of dancing around. I think, if we actually get back up to 205, like break that 206, the high being 204, if we break that 205 level, got to imagine that like some shorts are in and, maybe they're not covering, they're holding, waiting for the move, potential squeeze action. And we still have that like long going, not long, but going into that 220 level, right? 2 to 220, that's the area. I wanted to take my shots thinking that, maybe I could kind of peg it at 2, but it wasn't as clean as I thought it could be. Definitely a learning experience. And, I'm not going to go ahead and say that I overtraded. It is what it is. I mean, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Just thought that, it could have been better. I was really looking for a flush, kind of sideways action. And then, as you can see, I tried it again. I thought like we could go down, like get a VWAP test and then just kind of die off. But no, man, this thing is strong. And this is my worst name. It may not, I don't know how it looks to you guys, but like it looks like kind of like break even, but it's like I'm taking my shots where I think they make sense. And, hitting liquidity when it's there, like, you could take endless size on this kind of name. So, it was a good opportunity, good learning experience. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But, definitely my worst name there. And, everything else just a bunch of paper cuts for the day. So, sometimes it do be like that. But, you just got to kind of carry on, move on, and, learn from it, journal, write it down. Like, what did you do right? Could you have done something differently? In this case, I don't think I could have. I did it I traded it pretty well. So, and if we get back above 2 and break that 205, maybe we get more opportunities, see what happens there. But, overall, like Gattuso says in the meme, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe, and I don't want to, say that, but you know what I mean? If you've seen that, and I tell myself that all the time just to kind of make myself feel better. But yeah, man, lots of opportunity today, lots of dancing around, and, hopefully you guys are doing well.
Yeah, just the cost of doing business sometimes in trades. Like you put it in good at the poker table doesn't mean you're going to win the hand. It just means that you put it in good and let the chips fly where they are. I'm going to get to Neo in a quick second here, but just a couple of things in addition on the iPhone. 48. It looks like a 48 megapixel camera or 48 pixel camera sensor has been announced as well. So a couple of additional things there. And then some comments from Andy Jassy with regards to Amazon coming. They're saying they're hiring, but at slower rates than previous years. So a couple of notes there from Andy Jassy, maybe tempering things with the market a little bit. But if we're going to talk about strong names, this is not doing anything. Every time I look at Neo in the morning and it moves, does absolutely nothing in the afternoon. But truth be told, they missed on earnings. It was a wider loss than expected. Deliveries were not fantastic. I suppose I was like a few other people. When I saw it going up, it didn't make any sense. I'm like, I wanted to short it. I shorted it twice. I even shorted it in front of 18 even. And sometimes you go back to like a rhetorical question that I sort of asked in the morning, which was if it didn't break the level on the daily, that support level, and it bounces off of it, sometimes you look for support to break. And I didn't listen to myself there. It never broke that support and only went to the upside. Neo with a huge recovery at the open. It did pull back almost a full $1, but now going sideways, up 2% after bad numbers.
We used to have that most frustrating trade alert, and this would have been it for me because, yeah, we were all over Neo today, and I honestly, here, I'll put myself out there. We do this every day, and I can't just show you the sticky note, every time it wins. Today, this is actually not me, and Neo already hit the There it is. Okay, that's small. Neil already hit the nail on the head there when we talked about this. Like, look, Neo, deliveries, if it should take 16, we wanted to go short. We wrote that on here, short sell. Let's take a short if it breaks 16, but then we violate our own rules, right? It doesn't break 16, and yet here I am piling into the short. So, yeah, bad trade here off the open for Neo, and it really sucked because you never... Look, we're back to flat on the day. It's going to be a fine day. Everything's all good. But, whoops, that's the wrong stock. We want to look at Neo. So, you know, again, here's 16. Like, not only, you know, was 16 the bottom. I mean, that's why we chose it. Like, when I sat down here and looked at it, it's not like there was any levels here on the daily chart that was telling me short 16. I mean, it's pretty choppy in here. That bottom right there, actually, that bottom 16 back to June 13th. So I think we actually identified that, you know, as one of the reasons why. But that doesn't seem like that's that valid because down in here, 15, so on and so forth. Anyways, you can always data mine and you can always find reasons to go long or short. But the reason why I did it, realistically, was exactly what Neil said. They missed everywhere. So I was like, okay, you know, you can't miss in this environment, so it's a downside move. And it was. Neo was down. I mean, you know, yesterday we closed at 17. Today we opened at 16. So it was a downside move. But the problem is, it never took the bottom. And if it doesn't take the bottom, then, hey, you know, you shouldn't be shorting it. And what happened was, initially we wanted to short 17. We got a piece there, canceled the rest. I only got 20% of that fill. And we actually got that out for 20 cents. But then as it started to rip up, I was like, what? This is going to the upside. This has to just be a typical Neo move where it goes up, then crashes right back down. But no, we started averaging in. We averaged in, we got out at 1750. Mistake. Look, we thought it was going back down. We took the short again at 1750 and again at 1780. It breaks 18 and we get out. So right now we're 0 for 2, 0 for 3 on the stock. It's horrible. But we actually, see how there's nothing in here between 18 and 1850? We actually let it slow down a little bit up here. It starts to tick up. We take actually 3 fills up here, and then look what happens. The carnival acts again, and we don't take enough money. We just get out on the way down, and we're like respecting this VWAP down here at 1770. But hey, we're 50 cents in the money, so we're taking all that money back. We are still short Neo right now. As you can see, it's come back in, but now it's barcoding. I don't think it breaks the 1730 to the downside, but we still have a piece on. My best out is right there for $1. But hey, we're $1 in the money on this name, but we're not proud of how we traded it. We're still negative on the stock because we took too much out here. The play was right to wait for it to slow down. And just like the just like the meta trade, as it was trade of the day, don't do anything, Sean. Sorry, Luke, I talked to myself here. Don't do anything until you see some levels develop, because otherwise what's going to happen to you is exactly what happened to me. Probably not, because you're probably smarter than me, but you got to get out when your levels are breaking. And honestly, on Neo today, I felt like a fish out of water. Didn't have any levels, just watched it rip all the way to the upside, and unfortunately got stopped out and was not able to make enough back. But we're making a hell of a lot of money back right now as some of these names continue to keep going up. Starbucks, look at that, $88, breaking those highs as well. Meta up 250 now. 250 now in the money on Meta. Like, you know, things are working out well. Just patience is the key, my friend.
Yeah, patience is the key, something I don't have. I want to quickly comment on Neo, though. Kind of crazy, like that move to the upside, very slow move to the downside. And then look, what is this action at the 1750? Just kind of barcode, break above, come back below, barcode a little bit more. I don't know what I was doing here. I was just experimenting with a certain gateway that I was trying. But, you know, like it just really didn't move. Then we finally went up. And at this point, I mean, I was about to like turn over and tell Ian, like, yo, Ian, look, like it's going to go now. And then it kind of did it again. I was like, nah, never mind. And here it is. There's like a magnet, some type of magnet effect at the 1750 area. So, you know, I don't know. I don't really know what to think about it. I don't really have any trades on it. Had that first kind of keystroke error there. Kind of happy that I got out of that one, to be honest. And, you know, no more trades there. But, yeah, hopefully some of you guys also had that 18 short above 18 for the fade back. You know, faded back half the move. Not, you know, A++, but, again, still paying you, right? 50 cents, not too bad. But overall, yeah, kind of interesting. And I just wanted to comment quickly on that 1750 magnet. Like, I have no idea what's going on there, but when you don't see that every day, and sometimes you see it and it just makes you wonder, like, what is happening there? But yeah, not much more happening.
Just quickly, Neil, I forgot to tell people I went long Apple. I mean, as I was discussing all of that, we're long Apple right here. About 5 minutes ago, you probably saw it come on the board. It's a new trade. We went long at 35 down there. And again, you know what it was against? Like, I used to do this and I got in trouble. Like when I was like, if someone can guess something, I'll send you something for free. It turns out I'm not even allowed to do that. But like right here, this is where I'm trying to, and this goes back to that story that I said about meeting that Uber driver before I went to the Wu-Tang concert. It's like, if I can help teach anybody anything, it was really just that, you know, try to be as patient as you can. That's the first thing. And the second thing is to try to find some levels, right? And whether or not Apple comes back down and breaks or whatever, it's like, I'm going against this 155. So it's like, you know, it was tops here. Sure, could we come all the way back down? Yeah, but I don't want to be here to experience that. Whoa, okay, now that just moved down. But anyways, okay, we're going to have to adjust our talk now. But
come to my screen very quickly. Sometimes it do be like that. Literally, I take the short, it goes up, I'm like, hey, like, let me cover some of the size here because, you know, you never know. And look at this, it stops me out, and now we're all the way down here. Like, wow, what a day! Like, what a bad day. You know, sometimes it's just not a good day. I don't know. You said you were.
Oh no, I was gonna say something's come out here because like Apple. I mean, not that I expect Neil to have this. I don't know what it is, but
sell the news?
Apple Fitness. I don't know. What's up, Neil?
All I'm seeing that hit the wire there was the 14 Max starting at 1,100 and the Pro starting at 1,000. That hit the wire. And then, as you said, Sean, the Apple Fitness Plus available to all iPhone users in 21 countries. But it looks like it's the pricing that just hit. And the i14 and the Pro will be available on the 16th. That's what I just saw hit the wire. What potentially moved Apple to the downside there. So yeah, kind of a strong move. But they did announce some pricing: $1,100 for the Max. $999 for the Pro has moved it to the downside. I mean, not to jump ship and jump topics here, but I wanted to get to Netflix. I guess we'll go briefly over it. It's up 4% like your Starbucks. They're looking for some cost-cutting measures here. They want to save money in the face of subscriber growth going to the downside. They've been strong after making a big recovery in after yesterday's tumble, almost the entire way back. High of the days right now on Netflix, but yeah, I guess they didn't like the pricing on Apple there.
Well, okay, so first of all, do as I say, not as I preach. I honestly thought the Apple event was over.
Yeah, I thought it was over too.
Bang! Because sometimes it works out for you, and there it is right now as it rips up to the upside. And it's too bad because I thought the event was over. Otherwise, I'd be holding on to more of this. What I was getting at was you got to find levels that you can respect. And we respected that 155. That's so funny. We almost got punched out of our trade. Like we were using like 170 there, 54.70 as our out. So glad that didn't happen. And now we're just in a 50-cent winner now for Apple as that continues to go back. I thought it was done 100%. So that is like, that's on me, man. I even looked back and I was like, well, CNBC doesn't have it on, so like, you know, must be finished with, but it wasn't. And there it comes. Remember, I was like, something must be going. You heard me say it. Yeah. Something must be going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Idiot. It's the stupid thing they're doing. So there we go. I thought it was over with, but Yahoo! Nice little trade there. It doesn't matter. I just would be holding more. That's all. So let's hold the rest and see if it can come back up to the upside. Oh yeah. By the way, Netflix. If anyone can tell me the price that I said I'd be going long in the pre-market on, then you will win absolutely nothing because I've just talked about that. But put it in the chat if you know the price. Do you know the price I said I'd go long at?
No.
Okay, good. Thanks for paying attention. Hopefully somebody else, just playing around. I don't even listen to myself, so I don't expect anybody else to. But there it is right there. I did not write it on the sticky note, but yeah, you're right. It is. There it is, yeah. So Pokeroo, you're close to that 219 long that we said down there. But no, it was actually 222. It was breaking back above 222 was the long that I liked. Now my phone, for some reason, I must have said, hey Siri or something. It's like recording everything that I just said there, so that's good. But there it is, a nice little move to the upside on Netflix. What I was looking for, it was 222. So it must have been the 20 period. Remember we did this on the show, and I was like, yeah, you know what? The level that we like is right here. So it was just right into here, 222. It doesn't look that good. It's just in the pre-market, it was bouncing up. And then, yeah, we did mention that 219. So it's a nice move up for Netflix. But why did Netflix come on my radar all of a sudden? It was just because you want to continue to trade the names that have catalysts, and Netflix has had one of those, and it was at a key level of 220. So for me, it's really no surprise. We talked about where the 50 period was. I like Netflix. I did sell some of it not too long ago, so there is that. But hey, I like it. I think it's a good stock, and I think you could buy this. I'm a little bit nervous about their ad-supported system. I think they've come a long way from that bottom of 170 up to 220. Like, that's 30%. Is that right? 170 to 220. That's $50 on 170. Yeah, that's like 30%, a little bit less than that since their earnings. So I think it's wise to sell out of some of this. But anyways, Netflix continues to work, man. And as far as the 1 minute chart goes, there ain't much prettier than this. This is the 50 period just following it right up. So again, if you're long, you could see, I mean, it's violated it a little bit, but not much. You could ride it until you severely break this 50 period. I like Netflix long, and it looks like it's going to continue to work. Oh, man, that Apple trade was hilarious because, like, honestly, man, I thought it was done, the thing, and then when that came down, I was like, good thing we never got stopped out.
I'm like trying to speak, but I'm lost for words. And like I literally see the price on my watch list, and I'm like 154.90. I was like, okay, shorts are paying. And then I'm like, wait a second, I'm not in this. No way. There's no way. And I pull up the chart, and I mean, I showed you guys this already, but come on. What was the high there? Like 150? And I literally put my price at like a random price. I was like, this is random enough. Like it probably won't hit. I'm in down here. Like we got the averages, whatever. It is what it is. You know, you count what it is. Who cares? But yeah, just one thing I want to comment quickly on the Netflix trade. I mean, like that's holding trend. Like that is absolutely solid. I mean, maybe made it a little bit challenging for you to hold over here, but that 22 area, like that was the level, right? And we quickly burst above that, off the open, kind of came back down. And how many times do we see this, right? I'm gonna call it every time I see it. It's like you break the pre-market high, you break the level, it's showing you the hand of what it wants to do. It doesn't mean you have to get it up here because, how many times does it really run up here and then continue? Like it's not going to do that. It has to have a pullback. And look where it pulls back, right towards that pre-market low, double bottom, pretty textbook, and then the run, VWAP test and just off to the races. And giving the bounce above the 22 level, right? So if you have your level, if it breaks above the level, wait for a pullback, average into it, make your life easier. You could have justified a 221, 220 average maybe if you bought on the way down. And then as you're coming back up, it's still bouncing off of the high. Like you had the level, it broke the level, it's holding support. And then look at this, off to the races. And I think every time you get these types of setups, do yourself a favor and sell the strength as a day trader, right? Sell the strength. It doesn't hurt to sell some over here, sell some over here, sell some over here, because it will retrace back to the to the moving average most likely. I mean, what are the odds that Netflix just go parabolic to like 250, like probably very, very low? Everybody thinks the same way, right? So yeah, remember. Huh?
What are the odds that Netflix goes 250 today?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying, like, sell the strength, because what's it going to do? Go to 250 without you? Like, no. Like, pay yourself along the way.
Right.
It's holding trend. It looks good. But yeah, awesome call this morning, Sean.
Why, thank you. Are we done? No, back to Neil for a little bit of this one, Neil. I have too many frustrating stocks today. I said Neo would be it, but UiPath, we banged that long against everybody. I don't think much people are looking long on that one, but let's go to Neil for the story, and then I'll tell you why I got out.
So right before we get to that, there's some comments coming from one of the Fed members, Barr, here, and he's saying, I don't believe there's a pressing need for a central bank digital currency, but there needs to be some sort of regulatory authority addressing stablecoin risk. Some other comments with regards to, banking and looking into their risk and them holding up there. But really, it's just those comments, I think, on crypto that might be interesting. So UiPath, the guidance was terrible. Poor guy. They didn't beat on the top, but this is another one of those cases, and I don't know. I should have been long this one. Probably should have been long at Neo as well, but this was down well over 20%. You can see the gigantic gap to the downside. As a matter of fact, it was even lower than where it was trading in the aftermarket. Broke through 13. It's got itself a triple bottom at 12 even, and I think we know the rest here, Sean, because it was your first long of the day. I'm guessing you're not still in it.
No. But we are still in Meta right now. That's $3 in the money, so that's a good one off of the sticky note. But again, another note that's on the sticky note today was to go long UiPath. And I mean, here, let's call it up right there as I send a tweet out. Oh, damn, now it's at $14. Unbelievable. Okay, well, there's my long. Right there at 8:30 in the morning. I wanted the 1250 long. It came in. We got the fill, and then immediately, ripped up there to 13. 1306, so it's still 60 cents worth of a win. Comes back in, we take a piece out just before the market opens because I am scared that it rips down. That's 20 cents there. I am afraid of this move. It does make a move back down into 1219. We were sitting, I mean, I told you the price I was sitting at, so, you know, no cap. As they say. But, you know, we were sitting at 12.15. It goes on to 12.20. We don't get it. Then, in a fit of nervous rage, I guess, it takes out the 50 period, and I'm like, yeah, this stock's going to the downside. So we get out again at 13 bucks. So in at 12.50, out at 13.20, out at 12.80, out at 13 again, and then look what happens here. Two UiPath has moved forward as it just continues its march higher. Now we're at 13.80. And look, the reason was very, very simple for me, and I did put this again on the sticky note, so it's something to look out for right here. And that was, it was right here, UiPath. See this? That should be an L for maybe for me today, take an L on it, but we still won. I mean, we made money, so it's all good. But, you know, we wanted to go long at 12.50. Why? EPS, -2 versus -11. That's good, right? But they had a weak guide. Watching for a strong move back. It also has a small short float, so that was never going to play it. And I said right here, I think ARK comes in and buys more here today. I have no idea if they did or not. I just look at it and I say to myself, you know, man, this is too much. I say to myself, you know, if I bought 33,000 or whatever she bought yesterday, and then, you know, whatever her portfolio is, it's 4 to 5%. You like that one? Yeah, it's 4 to 5% of one of her portfolios there. If they beat on EPS, to me, that would have been enough reason to go in there and buy some more. I mean, I don't know what exactly ARK is doing sometimes, but I figured that they might buy this and not let it go down. Obviously, we'll wait to see tomorrow or when those reports come out, but ARK defends UiPath today. And look, like I said, if you're going to guide down and you're a growth stock, that makes sense to me. So I don't know. I take the EPS for what it's worth. And right now, man, holy, like, it's almost like Meta and Apple came up with some kind of a deal here. Like, Meta is just ripping to the upside right now. You know what it might be? Exactly. So that's exactly right. So Neil and I thinking alike there, which is sometimes a good thing. People were worried that Apple was going to come out with an Oculus type system, right? And that would have been a problem for Meta for sure, because people stay in the Apple universe or ecosystem, and they may have, you know, not forgot about Oculus, obviously, but, you know, went over to that side. So I'm thinking that, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me, and that's exactly what me and Neil are thinking here. So yeah, Meta to the upside. I'm definitely not getting rid of it. We're now $3.25 in the money as Meta continues to work. And by the way, Apple as well, continuing to work. We just took a piece out at 155.50. That's a 50-cent winner right there. And by the way, shout out to Spro Nation right now, because Starbucks, baby, we can buy Spros for a year. This is a nice little move to the. You see, Luca, like, if I didn't know you, you know, I would never be using the Spro thing or anything like that. Life, so baby. The Spro Bros, we got to figure that out. I don't think that would be me and you, but maybe on the midday show or something. But good little look here for Starbucks as well. I assume you did not trade any UiPath.
No, I did not, no. So yeah, no comments for myself on that one. I was actually just looking, Spro Nation, exactly. Somebody quickly mentioning AMD breaking high of day, and we're approaching that 80 level, and I want to say like 2-day VWAP is sitting at 80, and you know, don't quote me on that, look at your own screens there. But you know, we could put, I mean, we're here now, like I think we're getting an 80 test. So you know, I'm holding for that 80 test. Quick little 25-cent winner, getting that strength, overall market pushing higher. One thing I want to quickly talk about on the ES that I'm looking at, and this is something funny here. See this line? I did not put that line there.
Which line?
I did not put this line here today at 39.80. This is a mystery line. I was actually telling Ian about this. I have these lines, you know, listening to Arun, and he's like mapping these levels, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put these lines in. Then we like went above 4,000, and the lines disappeared. Then one day we were coming back down, and we approached this arbitrary line, but I'm like, there's a line here. I mean, I think this might be a buy zone here, and go figure, we bounced off it. So here's the line showing up again. I did not put this on today, but I'm thinking that now that we're at this line, and look at this, maybe some type of double top action.
That's right.
Call it 39.80, you know, like that. I mean, it was a level before. We're up 1.7. Not to say that it's going to reject off this and fall back down. I mean, we're kind of like strong. Like, I mean, look at the move on the market here. But overall, like maybe get some sideways action at this line. see how it kind of wants to add up there. I mean, if AMD really wants to kind of, make that top and then go back down, maybe let that one go. It was just a scalp trade, so the odds have to make sense on that. But yeah, we'll hold off and see if it wants to get at that 80 test.
Yeah, you mentioned AMD back to the high of the day. We're still long AMD. So just before we go to our guests, man, we're 50 cents in the money on on Apple. We're $1.70 in the money on AMD. We're $3 in the money on Meta. We are $1 in the money on NIO, and we're $1.40 in the money on Starbucks. So, I mean, right now, every single position that you see on the board is 100% real. And I want to thank everybody for watching us. We are going to have one of our, our good. I mean, we love having Andrew Rader on from Raider Trader, but the thing is, no matter what software Andrew's using, there's no way it draws imaginary key lines like that. That's how advanced our AI is. It just randomly puts up things on your chart, and then we can look at them and act like they mean something. So that's absolutely fantastic. But let's go over to Neil with our guest of the day.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, we have him back. The Raider Trader himself is joining us, Andrew Rader. He is on deck, and oh man, I'm gonna. Luca just said now, Andrew, that he had some imaginary lines on his chart. So I'm gonna put you on the spot here because there's a few lines on a chart of the SPY that I think you might want to show some people. I don't know if you're ready to set up to do this, but I have mine just in case because a certain birdie out there said something about 390 on the SPY, 393 on the SPY, and 396. Andrew, who was that, and were those lines actually drawn?
I don't know, but as far as the mystery person, we'll just leave it at that. But as far as my opinion on the markets, it's very simple. We were leaning in this week bullish. I talked about that last week. We had that little gap down and a little bit of error there. But as far as the sentiment, bullish, bullish, bullish. And I got some trades set up for you guys today that I can show you. Hopefully you guys make a bag off them. But today we're definitely aiming for that 393, 396, 7 area for our profit targets for today. The reason being, we can dive into a few things, if you don't mind me sharing my screen for a bit, is overall, what do we look for when we're in a bullish market, when the market's getting beat down? How do we make a trade long? Do we just take our favorite names? No. What we need to look at are the names that are the most beaten down. These are the names such as semiconductors right here, SMH. This industry right here has been beaten down over the last several weeks, several days, and has been heavily shorted. Now, the reason you want to get into these is because the more beaten down they are, the more prone they are to short squeezes, to short covering, and to be able to get the most money from rotations into growth, right? If we start to recover, this starts to be a risk on market. These sectors are going to get the growth. So that leads me to, of course, our favorite name here, and I believe Sean was talking about some of these names, AMD and NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of my favorite setups so far. I am taking calls on these, the $140 call, expiration 9/16. Why am I doing this? Well, because we can just throw on some levels here. We have 140, and then obviously if we get a big move, 144 is that expansion zone. But we are going for kind of an ABC correction. Once again, guys, creating structure, creating ideas, right? We notice that we have a big drop off here. Most of the time, corrections downward come from an ABC upwards counter parallel to trend. And then my third kind of confluence or tool that I can throw at you guys is Algoflow. So this is actually a tool that you guys can use free in my Discord. If you go in there, you just ask someone to help you use it, and will. What it shows is it compares the options premium to the stock price. So you can see oftentimes the options will lead the stock price and help validate whether the options market is on the same page as the equity market. And oftentimes the options market will front run the equity market. So you can see obviously bullishness here in the premiums. So that's why we're going long on NVIDIA.
There you go, and good look there, Andrew. Before I send you off to the guys, I just we've been talking a lot about like energy in the last little bit, and sort of how that might be pulling back in USD, and then talking higher level with what happened yesterday. We hit those highs on the Treasury. We just got the beige book. I think it was a little bit of a nothing burger there. What do you see in terms of, yes, we're getting a little bit of a rally, but there's a lot of signs sort of pointing to maybe some more downside. Like, what do you think about in terms of the higher level for the next coming weeks here, despite today's strength?
Yeah, absolutely. So for as far as the coming weeks, if you do want to share my screen again, we do have kind of a macro chart. Now, this was drawn up by my mentors as well as myself and the guys around me that I trust so much. We do have expectations for this market to continue to be choppy over the next few weeks to months. And then in mid-October, we should see a pivot. This should be a long pivot up to the upside for a couple of weeks or months before we are really targeting in the long-term scheme of things this 430 to 450 area where we'll see a rejection, most likely a new low in the market. But that does have to play into with energy and of course the DXY, the dollar. We do expect those to be very volatile as we come into some of these reaction zones. And of course, we're looking for a liquidation and SPY. That's the key point right there, is getting a final push down before we can liquidate the shorts and go long finally and have little to no resistance to the upside.
Kaboom right now. I just want to interrupt quickly here. Yeah, what's up, Andrew? Just quickly, if you guys, I'll get to you in a second, my man. Just quickly here, look at Gsat. Gsat reopened right now. I know there's a lot of our traders, Andrew, and I will get back to you, that are looking at this name. Global Star on the deal with Apple. Halts down here at 175. Opens up to a WTF move all the way up to $3 there, and is continuing its move upside. If you're looking at a daily chart here, there goes Gsat. Look where we stopped again. So you want to talk about technical analysis. We've already been up here on Gsat to 280. This goes all the way back to January of 2021 there when it was meme crazy time, and then back again here, 280 again. But I believe this move for Gsat, just for all of our viewers, is the real one because, hey, now they have that deal with Apple. They took on some more debt to finance everything. So let's wait to see here what happens with Gsat. Normally when you have a debt offering, Andrew, stocks go the other way. But of course, they also announced that they're going to be the partner for the satellite there that's involved with Apple and all their phones and things like that. Let me ask you, Android or Apple?
Oh, I don't know. Apple. But recently, I've kind of been leaning as far as my computers, like more Microsoft, more integrated stuff. Because having a Mac, I want to bang it against the wall because I can't plug in half the stuff I use.
But you got an iPhone. You got an iPhone is the question.
Yes, yep. I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's a broken iPhone, but you can see it's got some
Come on, man. How you have on there. How you have a broken iPhone, bro? I mean, you can just get another screen. Get that fixed up, my man.
I have another one, but that's just my everyday phone.
All right, I got you. Okay, do you ever trade halts or anything like that?
I do. So I used to actually originate from equities, and I actually did get it's exhilarating experience to be trapped in a halt to the long side, and you're long about 3 halts before. But I do remember, I believe GGPI was one that I got into a while ago as far as halts, and they are awesome. Very good if you can capture some of these moves, these news runners, and of course sell the news. They're dangerous if you do get stuck in them and you can't get out. But a lot of halts are fun. I did trade names like GGPI. I believe it was AMT or not AMT. There was an airplane company, AYP or something, AYT that I used to trade all the time as well. I forget the ticker of that one, but yeah, stuff like Gsat, these things move, run, and often have day 2, 3, 4 continuations. So look for those momentums tomorrow and see that volume continuing to come in, guys.
So you got a burner phone, eh? You got a burner phone? You heard of that terminology before? I like it. I like it a lot. Right here, Snapchat starting to go off a little bit here, up to 11:50, 11:45. Neil dropping some news in our chat here. Leaked internal memo. Here we go again, more leaks. CEO Evan Spiegel explains how Snapchat aims to reach $6 billion in revenue and 450 million users. So good luck on that one, Snapchat. But there's a nice little move back up to the upside. So you were talking about the SPY there and sort of your positioning and whatnot on that. How important is September the 13th? So that's a week what day is today? Week yesterday, where we're going to get that obviously inflation read. Is there a certain number that you're looking for? If that comes out a little bit under expectations, obviously I feel like the market's going to fly there. Is that a position that you had mentioned looking to close it? Would you hold something maybe out of the money, maybe both ways on heading into September 13th? Because we could get that 3-4% move one way or the other, because if that inflation number comes higher, then that's going to be, I don't even know what the market's going to do. Then those puts are going to print, my man. So what are you looking to do heading into next Tuesday?
Yeah, so heading into next Tuesday, typically I like at least positioning myself how I normally would. Now, what's unique is there's actually the 16th, which is the big options expiration date for us. So that's going to be a lot of money moving for us. But moving into the 13th, with, of course, the inflation numbers and stuff like that, we're going to probably be net one position. If the market does pump a lot into the 13th, so if we do get a big rally, we might consider going short into the 13th just to balance out if we do have those successes on the longs up. But if we do get, of course, a kind of a flat market until the 13th, we're going to go long, net long. That's the best thing to do. If we get roasted on that, then we know that this is the phase 3 of this market bottom, and it's going to be that liquidation phase. If there is a bad inflation reading, and coming into the 16th, we hope to have that that money start to rotate, and then we start to see growth, get the juice, and small caps start to run again.
All right, I'm going to free ball right now. I'm going to go off the cuff because I started something a couple weeks ago where I was like, let's do Ask Andrew Rader some questions. So I'm going to ask you some questions right now. I don't know if anyone has anything in the chat. You guys can put it in there. I can't be the people's trader and not ask you some of these questions. Okay, so first place, I'm going to ask you, are you more of a Chipotle guy or a McDonald's guy?
Oh, Chipotle, McDonald's. I'll tell you what, when I was an athlete back in high school, I always had McDonald's for breakfast before some of the trainings early in the morning. And
nice.
Let's just say a few conditionings I was leaning over the trash can. So Chipotle is definitely my favorite there.
All right. Have you seen the new Top Gun?
Yes, I have absolutely seen the new Top Gun. Better than the last, and my favorite movie of the last 5 years for sure.
Favorite movie of the last 5 years?
Yep.
So what else would have been up there for you? I love Scarface. I like Old School. I like Step Brothers. A couple different ones. Give us maybe another favorite of yours.
Okay, so Top Gun. Now this is a little bit older one, but I did like the Avatar movie, going to Disney World and stuff like that. It just blew my mind going to the Avatar land. Also Pirates of the Caribbean, another older one. But again, I think there's a movie in the last 5 years that was produced. Great movies all around. And then other than Top Gun, probably I'd say one of the war movies like Fury, the one about the tank. I'm really interested in like a bunch of history and stuff like that. So it's cool to see some, raw, emotions from the World War II side.
And last one, I mean, I don't know, I didn't see any, the chat's liking all this. You guys never heard of Step Brothers? Come on, man. Okay, so last question, I don't even remember what it was now. I'll have to think about it. I just completely forgot. I drew a blank there because I saw someone talk about, if you were to buy a car right now, first of all, do you own a car? Do you have a car now?
Yes, I do have a car. It's a RAV4. Nothing special. It's a 2008 RAV4.
Nice, beautiful. Would you hold out for one of these new electric cars? Or would you be a Tesla guy, Rivian? Is there anything like that maybe you're saving your money up for, young fellow?
I would say Tesla, 100%. I think Tesla, just because it's kind of the we don't build slow cars thing. Now, I'm all for, saving the environment protection. But if you tell me a fast electric car with 2.3 seconds to 60, that's right. I might be going, never over 60. Never over 60. I won't say it on live air, but I will go up to 60 in 2.3 seconds.
All right, yeah. Just make sure you do that on a private, closed track, so no one gets hurt. Andrew, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Why don't you tell people where they can find you, and we'll wrap this up.
You guys can find me social media, TikTok, Instagram, @RaderTrader, RADER. That is my last name. It's not my Xbox username. But if you do want to find me in Discord as well, the link is in my bio on those. Just come chat, whatever. Hang out here. I come on here every Wednesday, guys, and hope to see you guys again. And, of course, stick around for some great trading content from Sean if he gets into more wings eating pretty soon. So.
Oh man, yeah, that was a fun time. I mean, we had. Are you a fan of hot stuff, hot sauces?
Oh, I am. But when it gets to too hot to the point where I'm begging to crawl to the watering hole, then it just gets a little extra. But
yeah, Brendan thought the ranch dressing was a little bit spicy, so I can throw him under the bus because guess where he is? He's in Greece right now. So the jealousy levels are much elevated today. But again, thank you, Andrew. We look forward to this every Wednesday. Thank you, my man. Good luck. There he is. That was pretty fun.
That was fun.
What I thought about what I was going to ask him, and now I know it, but I couldn't ask him afterwards. Are we just going to do this view? That's not a bad one. That I was going to ask him if he was watching any series right now. So I'm going to ask you, is there anything you're watching right now?
No, not right now, no. I'm actually, you guys might make fun of me. I watch The Office over and over again.
I don't make fun of you. That's literally the best show ever.
Yeah,
so.
it's a great show. Michael Scott there, a great actor, obviously.
The best.
And, why watch a new show when you have gold? And, like to watch Seinfeld too. and just kind of say, I don't watch too much TV though.
All right, you win. That's it. End of discussion. That's exactly the right answer. I mean, Neil, what are you watching these days?
Only Murders in the Building. My wife and I are watching that. It's on Disney. It's hilarious. I need to actually start the new Game of Thrones at some point. I just don't have enough time. You know how that goes, Sean. And I haven't seen the new Lord of the Rings, although I've been told I have no business watching the new Lord of the Rings because it's absolutely terrible, but I'm a nerd, so I'm going to watch it anyways. Brad says it's garbage. But I wanted to say this, and I forgot to mention this to you, Sean, and I forget the name of the EV Porsche that our buddy has. But we're driving Taycan. We're driving it back from the rodeo, and he goes into, I don't know if it's insanity mode or whatever the heck they call it.
Yeah, he was telling us about this.
He threw that on. My daughter's in the back seat, and she's half asleep. She wakes up and she says, "Daddy, I saw lightning." It was insane. Like, I was like, you feel the G force come. It was pretty impressive. That car is amazing, by the way. So maybe that's what I would want. I always wanted a Tesla at some point if I ever go EV. I'm not ready to go EV yet, but at some point. But that Porsche pretty sweet, man. I'll tell you. If you get a chance when you're down there, I wish I'd driven it, but I wasn't in any state to be driving that vehicle for most of the weekend.
Okay, well, that's also you made the right decision then. Yeah. No, Neil, don't worry. I'll let you drive in mine at some point. I could go for an electric vehicle, but yeah, I mean, money still. You know, you got to make sure it's the right price. These cars are still like 100, 150 grand. That's the Porsche Taycan that he has. So shout out to him and one of our friends, of course. Neil and I have many mutual friends, Luca. So anyways, okay. I don't know if you know this, but we've been friends since, before high school.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Some people know that, some people don't. Okay, let's go, guys. Back into trading. Thanks to Andrew Rader there. Rader Trader, you can find him everywhere. Google that. He also is on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, let's go. And what I've learned because of the hatred that spews out of Prad, it's like I'm not necessarily going to take advice from that guy on what to watch and what not to watch. But I have heard mixed reviews about that Lord of the Rings, sequel, there that's on, I guess not a sequel, it's not a movie, but series that's on Amazon. But I don't mind checking it out for sure. And we did a Stalking the Streets, and I think a good topic would be which streaming service, and I said this to the guys when we were out there doing it, Liz and Fahad, that, which streaming service would you cut if you had a choice? I think that would be pretty interesting. What about, do you have all the streaming services? So I was only going to do 3. I was going to go Disney, Apple, and Netflix, but I was thinking about Amazon Prime, maybe 4. I think I could cut Prime. I don't think I watch enough Prime
I don't
shows.
think I have. Yeah, I don't think I watch Prime at all. Disney, it's got some of the old cartoons, so just nostalgia for myself. And, Netflix, obviously, The Office, it's the GOAT for myself.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can't get rid of Netflix.
Yeah, but, they said, was it them who was saying they were dropping The Office, but then I guess they bought it?
I thought Netflix ran out of time because they had Friends or something, and then they lost that, I think. Yeah. Because NBC, didn't they just release Peacock or something like that? Or, I don't know, here in Canada, we don't have as many. We have something called Crave that kind of puts them all together. So I feel like NBC has their own. And they put Friends there, and I thought they were going to put Office there, but I guess the price tag was just too juicy to pass up. Okay, yeah, so anyways, I would cut out of all of those. The thing is, like, my wife just messaged me, oh, your deodorant came in from Amazon. So this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm ordering like 6 packs of deodorant. And and Amazon Prime comes free with that service. So I would never cut that. I would probably have to say then, unfortunately, it would be Disney, but I don't really, the kids love that, and there's good programs on there, so we'll see what Stalking the Streets has to say about that. Okay, anyways, as it's going, let's go back to trading now. That we'll switch subjects here, and we'll hit the alarm because, look what ripped up for us, man. We definitely took advantage of those key levels, but again, like, I feel like it worked out. It's great for us, but this long on Apple, and we're long right now, we're 80 cents in the money. It's fine. I don't think I would have put on as much risk if I'd known the call was still on or their presentation was still on. But hey, to the riches, spoils come the whatever. And we just take advantage of that as it goes back up to the upside and taken out there at 155.85 and just watch this continue to now even go higher up as we're trying to break the high of the day, 156.20 there on Apple. Meta's kind of slowed down. This is not going to look bad because as as Trader Prad said there, trying to paint the chart. Like getting out here is great, but I'm not trying to do that. We're $3 in the money. I would have took it out for $4 if it was, if I really wanted to look good. I'm just thinking that we can absorb some of this move, right? The tape has fallen back down a little bit, and now you're starting to go back up 2 days high once again on the NASDAQ. So, this market has a lot of buyers on the sideline. I think they're going to come in barrels on Tuesday when that inflation print is lower. I believe it's going to come lower. Do you know that 27 of the last 28 readings have been favorable for the market, meaning that they're below the expectations in a favorable manner for the market? Let's see if that can, you quote me on that, whatever. I believe that's to be the truth. Like just for example, if unemployment they're expecting 3.8, then it would come at 3.7 or something. Like that's what I mean by that. And so I'm expecting the same thing from inflation. Whether or not that rips the market, I don't know what the target. I mean, they're still targeting 2%. Like that's a puff pass. You're not going to get to 2% anytime soon, so the market's just going to have to absorb everything they say and Fed talk. Okay, Meta, look, this is the thing. If we're going to zoom in on this, like these bottoms of 160 flat, I'm just going to respect that. So if we break back down below this 160 flat, then we're going to get out of the rest of this trade. We're long Meta right now. 157.26. So yeah, like we'll just punch this out if it goes any lower. We'll set an order, get out of this name, but that's going to be Meta. Anything lower below 160, we'll get out. And sure, if it rips to 161, whatever the rest of the day, you can't cry over spilt milk. And let's just trade what we see. And right now, I'm seeing this as a key level. So I'm going to back away. Not only do we have the 50 period, but we have downside wicks here to 160. It's actually the bottom's really 160.10, but I'm just going to use 160 as an even number. So let's set our order and go over and see what Neil's up to.
I mean, this actually was like, I got Brendan's layout here, and this just came up as you were talking about inflation, Sean. But an update from the Fed a couple of minutes ago. U.S. firms see tentative progress on inflation and labor supply. This coming from the Fed, so they do think there will be some progress there. Still, the expectation would be potentially that you could see that third straight 75 basis point interest rate hike. Last I checked, and maybe we'll double check it this afternoon, I saw about like a 70% chance of that. And then you could still get to 50. Canada did 75. ECB is widely expected that they could do 75 tomorrow. You actually saw the U.S. dollar pulling back a little bit here today. So, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I would look at inflation as this. I think that the transitory portion of that inflation looks like it can wind down, and that can still be positive, but then it'll level off, and the things that are less sticky are going to hang around a little bit longer than I think the Fed anticipates. They're going to have to make some strong power moves. I was going to talk about NutX, but I'm not really seeing a heck of a lot there. But I will note that Snapchat has continued. There was that release, of course, that we just talked about before. We're talking to Andrew, or in the middle of them, we're talking to Andrew. They're still holding these highs, 1150, but there has been some, not unusual, but obviously a spike in call buying in the last little bit at that 1150 strike. It is only Wednesday, of course, but it's hanging right around that price back and forth. There's been a couple of breaks, a couple of flushes back in. Worth watching off that 11 even. I mean, you can talk about Snapchat here. That's another beaten up name, but that 1150 looks like there's a bit of a magnet to that price. And then I would think maybe you get some support at that 1125. But in terms of things moving here, outside of Apple, Gsat as well, Snapchat should be top of our lists.
Yeah, Snapchat, something that actually went crazy. And, the first thing that came to mind was that 1160 area. We had it from last time. We had it pegged. And I'm pulling up the daily. This is the daily right here. 50 period kind of riding, rejected that, came back down, had the run initially, topped out at 1160, broke it for a brief moment on this day, and then back below, and sort of died off. And I thought to myself, we're done. But no, here we are back up. Well, not anymore, but and it's kind of unfortunate because I have the 1 minute right here. So I want to show everybody this kind of hand in hand. It's like, look at this moving average. It's like it's settling right around that moving average, 1140. You got kind of the 12 resistance level over here, call it what you want. And that 1160 just from the daily, it's just rejecting this level so very cleanly. And this wick, I'm not 100%, I was watching it. I don't believe this is real. I think it was a dark pool, that over 1160. I'm not 100% sure because I was actually waiting for that wick to go through to then take the short because I thought we're so close to 1160. We're probably going to take this, but it's still kind of like an area and I want to let it breathe. I want to let it go, run the stops. There wasn't any size there or anything. So I figured, I'm not 100% sure. Let me let it break and then take the short So, was not real because I was there waiting, finger on the trigger, and, kind of beating myself up now because, such a good level. And I almost want to say the high was 59. It did not even print 60s. So it's unfortunate that I missed that short there, but maybe it gives another opportunity at some point if it wants to jump back up, can play off that 1150 area. Look at this, right? This is the area of interest, 1150 to 1160 area. And I know, I always like to take the flip side. It's like, if, Neil comes in, talks about support, and I'm like, well, let's take the flip side here. How does the short look for anybody wanting to fade this move? Always looking to fade moves, whether to the downside or the upside. And man, that 1160 just so clean, so many days. When it shows you its hand the first time, it's good. The second time, it's good. Third time, it's probably going to be good. Let it be good, take the trade, and then let it show you that, no, this is a bad trade, and kind of reevaluate and go from there. So yeah, kind of crazy move to the upside, and funny how these levels always come back into play.
Oh, wow. I was just tweeting this out. I was like, I cannot believe how well this Starbucks trade is working out right now. I was talking about you guys, you could take the long. Even when I got out there, I should have punched longer again. And like I said, sometimes it's do as I say, not as I do. But look at it, just ride this all the way to the upside here. Wow, the ride's, it's going to end at some point, but Starbucks, we are now $1.70 here in the money off that bottom, and not even off the bottom, just right here, and it just kept on climb all the way up, and it's just wow, continues its extension here. All right, so that's 88, so I'm debating right here, how much are we going to give up? So it's 88.36, that's the high. Well, that's what we're at right now. The high was 46. This level would be, yeah, that's worth it, man. So yeah, let's just put a trail in. So this is 20 cents. Yeah, so about the difference here is about 20 cents. So actually, now that I realize it, I don't even have a trailing stop set up as a key, but I think you can basically just follow this all the way up and then get out when it finally breaks. So right now, Starbucks, $1.70 in the money as it just continues to make moves to the upside. So we'll just continue to watch that. Luca, this is I'm still long AMD from here. And this is
awesome.
This is what I'm saying. It's you got to find areas that can support it, and then you shoot your shot, man. You go back up to the upside, and there it goes. So, this is still being a pretty huge trade, and guess what? We just took out Apple at what was the high of the day. Now no longer. New highs right now for Apple, taking out 156.20. And look, man, we just went long for you live on the show at 2:30. I explained why we like that 155 bottom. Obviously, we got lucky to get more shares, but let's just say that announcement doesn't happen, then I just don't get these shares. This, though, probably still happens, right? So I'm happy that we've gotten more shares, not happy that we got out of them all because I didn't know what was happening right there. But hey, we got most of them out here in the 50s, so still a nice little trade here for Apple as we watch out for more news, Neil.
And some news yesterday in Hire Car, HYRE. It is now at the high of the day. Just broke the high of the day today, 137. They got a revolving line of credit yesterday and was at one point up 71%. Testing that high was $1.41. That's what it got to in yesterday's trade. On the daily, you can see the 150 mark. But if you're looking for names that are relatively strong, this one's trying to take out that top. Just watch out for the overhead resistance. Yesterday's high being 141 makes a 137 clean break a little suspect. I think breaking the 141 and the 150 probably a little bit more interesting, but it's yesterday's news. A little bit of continuation here today.
All right, continuation, eh?
I just want to say that's a bounce if I've ever seen one. That Apple trade. That's a bounce if I've ever seen one. That was sick. That was sick.
You're loving that bounce.
I just want to quickly comment here. Just an idea. IMRA still watching this. Volume definitely died down. But if this wants to go for high day clear out again, I don't even know if that makes sense. But it's still holding up around here, doing that sideways action. So yeah, it's definitely on the back of my radar there. Somebody saying, Luca, had that AMD long with you. Some of us can't be long at the bottom, Sean. Some of us can't. So what we do? We chase the top on the breakout.
Attaboy.
And took some out in front of that 80 level. And again, using that 50 period, are we going to break below? If the trend is your friend, And I just said this was more so just like a kind of I feel like 80-19 is the area that maybe it kind of gets there and it'll fill. But it's not really going to go to 80-50 right now. So that was my logic. And I closed that out. And look at that, man. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Brankel says this all the time, and he makes a good point. as a trader, you want to have fun. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. When you're doing well, when you have a good trade, celebrate the good trade. Because, that's why you're in this job, to have a good time, right? And then, when the bad trades roll around, like this morning, kind of missing everything, you just go, maybe next time. So, yeah, kind of nice to get that top wick there. And, congratulations to whoever had that as well. But, yeah, the point of the story was, Sean, some of us cannot have the bottom and hold all the way to the top. I mean, sometimes, that's great.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wish I was in that boat as well. I'd like to have all bottoms and all tops and be able to hold for the extreme move. And no, it's about trading your own style. Like I said, I scalped out of most of that Apple because, quite frankly, I had no idea what was going on. And like I said, pie in my face because, honestly, I was not expecting, I didn't even know that announcement was still going on. So I think it's a little bit lucky. But we can look at some more names here. UiPath, like there are certain ideas that just work. And UiPath was another one today. One name that didn't work that we actually haven't even talked about was Peloton. So again, whenever we're taking positions really early, they're really small, and I've learned that over the last month or so. I got smoked on one of the, there was a NASDAQ, I don't know, what it might have been Snapchat. Oh, it was Microsoft, and then I got hit on Snapchat just last week or whatever when that kept ripping up. And it's just like, it's not worth fighting this, honestly. Like this move to the upside here on Peloton, like again, there was a news story out this morning that I actually tweeted out that some judge is now allowing civil penalties and whatnot to be assessed to Peloton. That's never a good sign. You don't want, a judge or a jury or whatever to decide on a civil penalty. I mean, those can be in the millions. But anyways, regardless, it doesn't matter. I thought it was going to be a short, and then the bias took me out here at 9 as we went short early, and then that hit. And then again, like, look, it does kind of baseline out, and then it drops right back. So if I held that 20 more minutes, so just like you were just sort of bigging me up there, Luca, this is kind of the opposite, where we get out and then it drops all the way back down. So not only did we basically buy the top, but we didn't hold anything to get out on the way down. And this is going to happen to you, but again, because it's Peloton and because it was pretty early, didn't have that many shares, a lot more shares put on there than right here, like probably 20%, 80%, and then out, and then there's the fall back. But now Peloton's kind of baselining here at 9. It is trying to take down this 50 period. I'm surprised that we're up 3.5%. I still think the same thing about Peloton that I always did, and that is that this is a huge buyout candidate. I don't even know what I'm going to look right now because it's been so beat down, and I just use FinViz to figure out the market cap of a company, PTON, and I do want to go over to Gsat in a minute as well. I think this is what, 3 billion, something like that would be my guess. Hold on a second, let me just look. No, booked a market. Oh yeah, okay. I almost said 6 billion. I was like, no, the last time I looked, I think it was near 20. So 3.2 billion. I mean, for some of that's like literally a drop in the bucket. Apple could sneeze and buy these guys by accident. So I feel like that could be something there, let alone Nike. I mean, these guys are doing billions and billions. I don't need to tell you that story, but anyways, I think that's true. Somebody could come and take these guys out, even a Lululemon, even if they bought them with stock. I mean, Lulu is just, you want to talk about another stock that's on fire, fuego, since their report. I mean, a nice little upside move here, back up to 330 right now. We just tested 300, nice move upside, and then still to go. So I feel like on Peloton, there could be some buyouts looming there at some point. Not that I've heard anything, but I think that's an opportunity. Quickly over to Gsat, as we got to talk a little bit about trading here as we've been doing, but let's go over to some live trades now. Gsat trying to, okay, I feel like this is an aftermarket runner. I just feel like now there's too much liquidity here, 83 million shares. But we are baselining, and that is not a horrible thing. I'm going long Gsat break 232. I'm just going to go long because you know what? This is the same thing. Got to follow my own rules. So like when Gsat's making this move down and baselining, just like Meta, just like AMD, once you have an out, you can go longer with more shares. So Gsat right here, 232 is going to be my long. Let's see if some more news comes out or what happens here. I'm not sure it's going to be a halt candidate anymore. Doesn't seem to be too wild. The news is already out. And I'm not sure, it should be positive news, and let's just see where the market takes this. But right now, Gsat, I like this breaker at 232 because we have 50 period, not that that means anything, because we had the halt and we had huge volume. But right there, 216, 220, we can easily take an out there of 20 cents, and I think the upside's a lot greater than that. So Gsat break 232, I'm long.
Yeah, I like that idea, Gsat. When you kind of come down, and I'm just going to bring up the chart very quickly here. Obviously, crazy move to the upside, and I want to shout out the chat for this one because I had it on my screen. I took it off. Raider Trader came on, and everybody was like, Gsat, Gsat. And I was like, oh, it's open. Okay, let's go. And was pay for shorts because I was trying to jam the short here at 3, playing off that level. But yeah, unfortunately couldn't get that. But, this move to the upside was sharp, right? Like open 175, very, very strong move to the upside, running to that $3 level, and just lots of selling. As an investor, this is kind of my perspective. As an investor, you run back up to these levels, and I'm going to pull up the daily just to show everybody here. You run back up to these levels. It's like you got to imagine that selling's coming in just because this is where we topped out before. Maybe some people are bag holding in and around this level, so an opportunity to get back to even. Like really, really good news, and then kind of fading back to the downside. So, the fade play off of 3, like when you get the parabolic move, you're going to get the move back down, and then it's, like by the pullback, which makes sense. And look at this play off 220 at VWAP, just sort of barcoding now, breaks 2, making it, appear that, okay, we're going to now break 2 and have another leg down because, leg down, third leg down. But, break and reverse and now holding, right? Holding. Tried it again, break and reverse and now holding. So, perhaps a lot of that selling is done, and now we get that pop back to the upside. So, and riding that VWAP area, right? When you get kind of, you got the 50 period kind of lining up over here. You got VWAP looking like that support level. Really, really nice. So, flip side scenario, on the short side, you want to short parabolic movers, obviously, when they are parabolic, not when they are back down in the middle. And then you're kind of, this is like, kind of support level, just barcoding here. So, it's unfortunate that I missed that one there. But, man, that $3 level. What was the high on this? 298? Yeah. Not every time do you get, like, 298 as the high, right? Going back to an example, like IMRA, it's like this thing was at 298, and then it reversed. And I was like, or 297, 197, sorry. And I was like, no, there's no way. Like, we are going to break 2. Like, 2 is the level. And now, 204 being the high there. So, that's just an example. It's like we come all this way, not every day, but, sometimes on these sub $5 stocks, I guess that's where it's more in play. Something else I'm looking at here is Google riding that 50 period, just breaking it now. But I'm going to give it a little bit of, I think if we break below that 109.50 area, maybe, it's kind of done. Like, maybe the market's losing steam. I have no idea. How much time do we have left here?
Did you add that 50 period in the last little while?
I did, yeah.
Ooh.
I think it was yesterday because I was looking over at your chart.
I like it.
And you're saying something blah 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 50 period, and I'm like, that's why these things just like I need the visual. I'm like, okay, let me add this here. And ever since I've added it, it's been like it's just, you know what? You don't want to have, for me, you don't want to have too many things.
Right. Look what I have.
Right?
3 things.
But you want to have like the simple things on there that like give you that kind of that obvious tell. So for me, it's the 13 EMA giving you the short-term trend, short-term gauge. The 50 period that I now have given me that kind of, because I was always like, okay, now it looks like we're falling down, but why are we holding? It's because the 50 period's there, okay. And then obviously VWAP, you want to have VWAP on your charts. But yeah, for me, keep it clean. 3 lines there is enough for me. And yeah, going back to this trade idea, it's like maybe we get a 110 test if the market wants to kind of, we are above 39.80 now. So if this holds and we like kind of make a final push up, market being strong, market like the beige book results there, we could easily, rip back, test that 110. So that's the logic on this one. But again, if we're breaking 109.50, maybe I'll get back in, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that, because that's what the environment's all about, right? It's about educating and trying to, learn more off of each other. So I'm glad that you put that on there, because you know what? Let's just continue to look at it, and I'll talk to you about it in a month or so and see if you've been using it. I've been using it, and I like it. So that's awesome, and I'm really glad to hear that. So that's awesome. All right, too many words of awesomeness there. So let's just keep going. I just did see here that Google, again, appearing to cost cut again. So Google right now is, we just got stopped out of something. Starbucks, okay. So there it is, man. Let's go. We'll spin it. I don't see Sharif here. Nope, that's not Sharif. He's back there? There he is. Yeah, he's taking off. See you, Sharif, buddy. And we'll spin the money for you as he leaves, because there it is, man. Starbucks breaks that 50 period. There it is again, Luca, breaking the 50 period. So let's see now if that's a trend change and if it starts to go back to the downside. But, Fahad, I am going to sneeze. I don't know why in a couple seconds. I do not have my cough button working. Sneeze avoided. See, I can do that to them and get them all panicky there.
You gotta just plug in.
You know what? The thing is that no, I'm not gonna sneeze. Sorry, Lucas. But I'm just gonna hit the mute button because I know we don't have, and I don't want to blow everyone's minds there like I did that one time because the cough button wasn't working there. But okay, so there it is. We are now out of Starbucks. Sorry about that, Lucas. It's a false alarm on that. But all right, so there it is. Starbucks out, fine. It looks like that might have been the wrong play. We just got out at 25, and now it's back to 34. So okay, we got to try to respect our lines. There was one. Oh, Google's what I want to talk about. So. And I want to call this up because this is an idea that I've had for a while. You guys know I've talked about the Jets ETF. I don't know if airlines are investable or not. I would say no. I feel like when you invest in airlines, you get like the worst of them and not really the best of them. Like when this economy turns around, you're going to see some of these tech names blowing up. And I just feel like, you know, when things go bad, the airlines really get hit and they often have to get bailed out. If you guys trade these, I don't have to talk about this. Plus the price of oil, I think, is upside from here. I don't know. You're down 5% today. So don't take that call. But anyways, the note about this, look at this move back up for Jets, right, to 29 bucks. And now you're basically back down into some low levels. And the reason why I bring this up is Google restricts, this is 9 minutes ago, and it's not huge news. This is just an industry trend that I'm trying to get through, is that Google restricts employee travel to critical trips only. Okay, so the reason why that's important is because if they're not traveling anymore, and I know even for us, like we don't need to have Andrew, I mean, obviously we're doing a YouTube show, but we don't need people to come into our studio to come on with us. You know, now everyone's built little studios in their houses. They have like those higher def cameras. Technology's really won during all of this COVID talk because we're now seeing that, hey, we can get away with less, quite frankly. And so that's going to hurt some of these airlines. It's going to hurt companies like Uber and things like that because everyone knows when you're on a business trip, you tend to let those Benjamins fly a little easier than if it was your own money. So, all right, Neil's got something. What's up?
Oh, try to load up. There we go. Look, you were mentioning this, and I came across a UAL headline and a couple that I'll get to here. But yeah, they lifted their third quarter revenue estimate after a busy summer. So that's what they're saying out of one side. And then this other headline, United and American Airlines playing down travel demand concerns. So look, anytime you have anyone revising or sort of guiding, telling you that it's going to be rosy, lifting a revenue estimate, but at the same time, there's others that are out there saying that they're playing down demand concerns. That maybe puts a trade on there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, I mean, UAL's got to be a short, but you just had a 5% move to the upside on that same number, and you are right into a big level. I mean, you know, sometimes getting back on the trading desk is a lot of fun because you're right at this level on the daily chart, going right back to August 26th. That was just a week ago or a couple weeks ago, and that's a big level on the daily. We've just turned into it on UAL. Should find some resistance up there. Up 5%, so there's a lot of strong names in the market. UAL, very strong, up that 5%.
All right, I like that. I like that a lot, as they say. So, okay, yeah, Starbucks. Look, Luca, who the hell told you about this 50-period simple moving average?
Man.
Like,
it's
who the hell
good.
uses this thing? Look at my chart. Yeah, like who would use this stupid thing here? Like, as if, man. Like, Luca, honestly, man, I used to like you, and then you showed me this 50-period, and now it's like 88.25. We got out, and now it's at 88.40. And of course, I kid because, hey, look, sometimes these levels are great, and sometimes not so much. So we're chill, man. We're chill. We got out of that one. The good thing about it is, look what else is happening. Meta really, making that Oculus a little less expensive. Don't tell that to my kids. They might go, ooh, and by the way, I got to hit my wife up. I wonder how the first day of school was. I think it was pretty good. Oh, she actually said, it's lucky that we live so close to school. My son was having a race, and somehow his shirt ripped. So I don't know I don't know if he heroed it off. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it could have beat our friends probably for sure. We had, this is the thing. So me and Neil, like I said, friends from high school, and we're still in the same football pool. And some of these guys still think that they're, I don't know, 20 years old. And anyways, they were racing in my backyard. And it's not, my backyard backs onto a huge, anyways, they were running there. And of course, one of our friends pulled up limp with a hammy. And yeah, so, you know, that didn't go over well. And the rest of the day, I had to run in the house, grab this guy ice packs, so on and so forth. But good sport and lots of fun. But anyways, just a story about, like, sometimes you're a little older than your body. Like, your body is older than your brains. Does that make any sense? Like, you think you can do things that you really can't. So anyways, that was a fun time there. But I'm excited to hear back from the kids, see what they're up to after their first day of school. And I wish everybody that had kids on our stream as well, that they hopefully also had an eventful first day, or not eventful. Either way, enjoyed themselves. That would be important. But look at this meta right now. Luca, you're talking about picking the bottoms. This one, I mean, we almost had this dead to rights here, as that bottom was booming, and now it's all the way to the upside. We never hold enough. I thought we did pretty good getting out at 159. Didn't think 161 would be in the cards, but it is, and there it goes. A nice little upside move. As I'm just realizing I don't have any pending orders other than ones to get me out of position. So there goes Meta, right up to the upside. I'm not getting out of this. I talked about that. It's still underperforming the market, if you can believe that. This is, I mean, look at this Apple trade. Like, are you kidding me right now? You want to talk about having a successful afternoon? I mean, Meta, Apple, AMD, Starbucks. I mean, some of these names, man, just continue to work. There goes Apple back up to 156. Google, yeah, I have no idea what's going on tomorrow, but today it seems like, and I'm hoping people realize what happened there. That guy didn't turn for a bear for very long. Now he's bullish, and we did talk about that. I'm so excited for next Tuesday. What's up with Google?
Yeah, you know, Google, awesome. And, you know, shout out to the 50 period because, you know, added the first little bit. You know, we dip back below. And this is the thing. These are one of my rules. It's like I really want to see that action because it's going to give you, like, the steam to the upside. So we dipped. You know, I had my out. If we broke 109.50, I'm out of this. We held. We popped back. And I'm like, oh, man. And as I'm talking, what I'm realizing with the show is as I'm talking and saying things, I'm convincing myself into more positions. I'm like, yeah, this is a good 50 period bounce. Now we're going back up. I was like, oh, I like this even more. And as I'm telling you guys, yeah, we didn't come all this way to not touch 110. Like, it makes no sense. I was like, I got to add to this. Like, this is going to be a banger. So obviously add to the position. And then, you know, like, you know, scale yourself out, be kind of responsible with it. And because you never know, right? You never know where the top is. And still holding that last piece for the 99s. Fill me right now at 99s. Make my day absolutely awesome. Running to 110. And then here, I mean, here we go. We take the fills at 110.
Attaboy.
And then after 110, like, I'm done. Like, I mean, I don't know. If it keeps going, if you want to hold a piece, great. I was telling other traders in the back, too. It's like, I love this kind of, you know, long into these levels. But if I don't get out at the level, then it starts to feel like a gamble. So it's like, I mean, as much as we are like speculating, right? I don't want to veer too much into the side of gambling. So when we break 110, it just kind of feels like, now I don't even know what's going on. Are we going to go up and come back down and then flush down? I feel like it's an options play. You know, you get to these levels, you know, lots of volume goes off. That's where you want to take size off because you're getting the fills. After the level breaks, I mean, it's a crapshoot up or down, who knows? You know, sell the strength, sell the strength. So in the last piece, let's see if 99s will fill. I think they'll fill. I mean, what, we go to 109.99, that's the top? There's no way. So I'm thinking 110 fills, got the last piece, got my order out. And I mean, at this point, you know, if we come all the way back down, I'll just sell it down here. But it's the last piece, so there's no big deal. Take the win on that one.
All right, I'm just changing some of my orders here because we are upsizing. Just letting people know quickly before I go to Neil, I am going to try to respect that 50 period on Meta as well because we're $4 in the money now, and we got to take some profit. What's up, Neil?
There's a host of things at highs of the day here, and like PayPal's at the high of the day. Tesla's getting close to it. Coinbase triple top. Coinbase up over 8% as Bitcoin's back over 19,000. But it's this ATXG that, on a volume basis, sort of catching the attention. It just broke out at $6, and it's approaching. It's approaching these highs from the morning. Yesterday in the afternoon, it got to about 6.25. Then had these highs that it failed in the morning a couple of times, and it was a halt on the way up. So as it gets through this 25 to 650 area, through that chop, there's a lot of room to the upside on ATXG. But as I mentioned, there's a heck of a lot moving in. I was talking about PayPal. Also Coinbase making some power moves to the upside. I'm going to find some more movers for you. EHTH making some moves as well. So there's a lot at that top end of the market. I don't know why we're on that right now. A lot at that top end of the market that you want to be paying attention to. Seems like Gsat has gone the way of the dodo, at least temporarily.
If the dodo. Yeah, I mean, we got dodo birded as well right there because we went long ahead of 2 and it broke. So we actually got long at 206 there. I think it was 205.50. We just ran into a dark print. So we actually wind up losing. We got out there on a 2 break. So we lose about 8 pennies or so on that one. We got at 198. So about 7.5 cents of a loser there on Gsat. As here it comes right back to the downside. Like I said, hard to make these calls because like I haven't gone through the report or you know what exactly Apple was doing, what they're talking about, things like that. But I did read the Gsat highlights, and I think it's a good thing. I don't know if I would touch this anymore. It doesn't look like if you just look at the volume down here right now, you know it's gotten weaker. Obviously on open, it's just accelerated. It's not accelerating, it's declining the volume. We did pick it up a little bit at $2 there, but other than that, it seems like interest is waning a little bit, and you could see it's not like ripping through levels or really doing anything right now. So I think Gsat, and again, you know, everybody, I mean, we always talk about this, like we want everybody to trade their own book. But right now I feel like Gsat is on the way to the downside, and you know, you may want to use $2 as you're out now, hold the short and see what happens. You can always punch out at $2, but there's going to be a lot of FOMO in this trade. So that's the one thing that can lead this name lower, right? And you might think it's the opposite way, but it's like as more people get caught, they're not, you know, like people are just going to sit here at 195 and get filled. And then once it just keeps ticking down, they're adding pressure to this side, right? Because now everybody wants to get out. So you got to just make sure that, like, I'd rather trade it on the way up rather than try to catch a falling sword back down. The reason why we went long is against $2. So right now, I'd almost go short with the same logic. So that's all. You know, do as you wish. The right trade on this one might be through options if it's available. I don't even know if it is on Gsat. So, all right, Meta, we do have an out here. I'm going to use that 50 period again. 160.50. If it breaks that, we'll get out. I mean, we're long. It'll be a $3 winner anyways. Let's check back in on Starbucks. Oh, God. We get out there at 25, and now it's at 55. So we'll definitely check on that. Yes, so options are available on Gsat. Thank you so much. The harp agent. What's up, the harp agent? Oh, the sharp agent. I was going to say, are you playing a harp? The sharp agent. Thank you so much for that. So Gsat is available on that one. You know another name that's really Rip City? I know you're on Amazon right now. Sorry, on Google is Amazon. Amazon right now up almost 3% that I can see. Well, now it's 2.7. There goes Amazon, a nice little move upside. It actually ticked out to 130 today for Amazon. So that's a nice move. And this is what I mean. Look at the baselines. They're all going to look the same. Meta, AMD, all that. They all got going. And look at this. Look at this 50 period. No wonder why Luke is on the 50 period right now. Look how smooth that pink line is here for Amazon today. Like that's just, see, if you didn't learn anything about from the show, at least you learned something like that. There it is, a nice little move upside there on the 50 period for Amazon. But again, bouncing off 130. So yeah, our charts don't look good because we still don't have the split adjusted price. Let's go back one more time and just look. Yeah, 130 not super key. I probably would have keyed up on 131. So if the market is in rally mode tomorrow, guys, let's pay attention to this 131 level on Amazon. I believe we can take that out. And if we do, then I would say we travel to 133. So tomorrow could be another banger day if the market wants to go up. Today is Wednesday, though. So Thursday, Friday, I don't know. It's a shortened week. But hey, look, the buyers are back in. They're sharpening their pencils. So let's wait to see what happens there. We'll probably get out of Meta soon. AMD's cruising to the upside as well. We're going to get out of this one if it continues to break back down through this 80 level, which it's doing right now. And there it is. See, I did not listen to the 50 period on this one. My out rate here is going to be 79.80. I'm more comfortable with trading AMD there, so we'll trade it if it comes back down to 79.80 AMD. But yeah, so far so good here on the closing show, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't had a chance to yet, by the way. Look up ticker PCC.
Yeah, I'm chilling here. So I actually I had a short here on Apple, and the logic is this: on the daily, and let me drag this over for everyone. On the daily, the 50 period is 156.50. We came up. It was a nice, strong move to the upside. We broke trend. I was like, hey, let me get a starter short and see how I feel. And guys, here's the thing. A lot of what I do, like as a discretionary, kind of like a lot of my stuff just kind of randomly discretionary, getting in and out. It's like I take a starter position. I'm like, how do I feel? And then I'm like, oh, I feel good. Like this feels good. So then I add. So obviously sometimes it's gonna backfire big time. But it's just like maybe we run into that 156, into that 50 period here. And again, the 50 period coming in clutch. Taking the short, adding the size, running into the 50 period, and then, yeah, I don't know if you guys heard me say, what's going on over here? I think something, I did something to my level 2, so I'm going to chill because now it's doing something. I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, still holding Google, seeing that it's coming back to my average here. So I guess, yeah, I guess 109.99 is the high. And I didn't get the fill there for some reason. But, is what it is. No big deal. That's why you want to, sell the strength, average yourself out, have your orders layered. And I see, things are going nuts. This guy was gifted membership by True Trading Group.
There's another 50 right there.
That's crazy.
Thank you so much to everybody at True Trading Group. Again, they sponsor our opening show, and there's 100 memberships right there.
Wow,
we actually just had a meeting about that today. So there it is. There's 50 for everybody, and there's 50 again. Thank you so much to the True Trading Group continuing to sponsor us up. Go check those guys out. Awesome. And I don't want to say the guy's name, but he's probably watching right now. If he gives me permission, I would. But it's definitely nice talking to him over on Twitter, and keep the communication going, my man, because, yeah, I think it's going to be a good partnership. True Trading Group, thank you so much for that. Gifting, again, another 100 there. So thank you so much. Definitely means a lot to us. Thank you for the membership, and go out there and grab those ASAP. Thank you to the people over there at True Trading Group. We definitely appreciate that, and you helping us grow our channel with that as well. So thank you so much. Okay, that's that. So we covered that a little bit. I'm just going to try to be patient with the trading. It's 3:40 right now. It was a pretty big day. We've made a lot back here, and yeah, so far so good on the day. Let's just review a name that we really haven't looked at a little bit this afternoon, and that is going to be NEO. Got absolutely clocked on, not clocked, but we got hit. It's not going to look good early as we went short, and then eventually caught the top, and now we're still sitting there. The reason why I'm not looking at this is called barcoding. Like if you scan this, it'll take you to Neil's website. I think it's a barcode. But right there, you could see 1775 as that top. If it comes there and breaks it, I think then maybe that's where we'll be able to get out of our short. But until then, it's not really doing anything, so not much to talk about. Let's go over to the other EV maker there. As Raider Trader mentioned, he'd buy a Tesla if he could. Oh, we just got out of something. What was that? AMD broke lower. So by the way, Neil, he said it 6 minutes ago. So there we go. I was just thinking, what are the imbalances looking like? 550 million, 547 million to sell. So watch out for Tesla again. This is a pretty key level there. I may hit this to the short side. 282.40 short side on Tesla. You want to do that, guys? That's not horrible, because then we can use our 283 or so as an out. Let's do that into the close. 282.35 short on Tesla if it takes it. 282.35. I like that short. Anything you're looking at here?
No, I'm just actually trying to quickly fix my level 2 here.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I'll work on that. It's just when I tell myself, when the tools are broken, not broken, but when the tools are doing something, you don't want to jump in with too much size and kind of go nuts, So chilling here, watching stuff. But yeah, guys, Gsat, that fall off was kind of crazy. And here I am slamming the short. And I'm like, I'm not getting filled. And I'm like, yes, it's SSR. That makes complete sense. Okay, whatever. Something I want to highlight from this morning, that Intel 30 level. Guys, we topped out at 3080. I mean, sometimes you have your levels for the day, and you're like, and let me just actually drag this up, because we got a wick here for some reason. I don't want to change it really quickly, but we bottomed out at 30. 30 is like a new low, right? I'm thinking we're at 30, it's bearish, the chips are down, AMD is going to sell off. This is perfect. The stars are aligning, and it's so weird how the stars align and then they flip. It's right when it looks so good, they're like, haha, no. And flip, and the bottom here is 30.05, and we did not even retest that, and then bounce to the upside. I wouldn't have taken the long off that level. I really did like the short, but just I just wanted to cover this. I'm surprised that you have such a strong level, 30 being a new level. I thought for sure magnet effect, this is going to test 30 for sure. That's why I took the size in front of 30 with the thought maybe if we're going to break down, I'll punch into 30, whatever. And, we didn't even get there. I was confident. I obviously held my short, and then I covered it over here. So, it was a nice cover, not too much damage, maybe a 10-cent loss on that one. But, funny how it works. It's it looks so good. And I guess, I don't know if this makes sense, but it's if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So, it's not going to happen. So, I don't know, man. But I'm just happy that, not really at the bottom or the top of my list, just kind of in the middle. Is what it is. Maybe that sets up later in the future. I'll let future Luca deal with that one. For now, current Luca is just watching some of these levels. IMRA not really approaching 2. Oh, it actually did. Oh, man. Okay, I mean, whatever. You know, you're not going to get them. Look at this, man. This is what I was looking for, but maybe not at 2, but at 205. I really wanted to see high day clear out, but a fade back down. Like, again, it's only 15 cents, so it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a $2 stock, right? So like a 20-cent move is a 10% move. Call that a B setup, whatever is what it is. But yeah, man, if we had a high day clear out over there, you know, I think the move could have been a little bit more extended. So that's what I would have went for. Maybe I would have let this one go. But I was going to say, like, oh, it's unfortunate that it didn't do it. And then I pull it up, and I'm like, oh, it did do it. And what was I doing? I was shorting Apple. Ah, makes sense. Okay.
All right, big shout out again to True Trading Group. If Bears vs. Bulls can help, I think you just got to like right-click the memberships or something and claim them, or in the YouTube profile. I'm not sure exactly how you can claim those, but we have talked about that before, so thank you so much, and a lot of people have. And welcome for all the new members. Thank you so much. It's a $5. It just goes to the show, really. That's all that it is. It's just to support the channel, and we bought some new chairs over there, and so on and so forth. So it's just to support that, and just to, you know, if everyone can remember to like it, hit the like button, turn that bell upside down as well, and hit that like button. So, all right, new trade alert. We'll hit it because we do it all the time, and this time it doesn't look like it's going to work. It's you know, like when the market's up huge, it's not ever really a great idea to take a short, but I just felt like maybe the market was going to collapse a little bit there into the close, because we did have that sell number from Neil, about 550 million to sell, and then we have some outs on Tesla as well. So we are into that Tesla short. Like, I'm talking about it like it's a problem, where it's against us 40 cents. But I actually, I tried to get more short there. I just missed that at 280, so we'll see if that can come in. But I was looking at this, honestly, I don't even want to hold it all the way up here. Like, if we break above this 50 level, then I really feel like we will take out the high of the day. So I'm going to get out if we take out this 283.50. There's the average in right there. So it sucks. Our last trade may not be a great one here to end the day, but I don't want to count our chickens before they hatch, as they say. So let's wait to see if it does come through for us or not. That's going to be Tesla. Our average price now is 52. So my out was going to be right here, 281.50, because I felt like giving it $1 back made sense. So $1 both ways is what I was going to look at. So hopefully, if it does come back in, we can get that price. But 50 more cents upside, which could happen in literally 5 seconds, and we're going to get out of this. It looks like the market is trying to take back its 50 period. And again, another reason why we went short Tesla is because the market finally broke below the 50 period. Look at it, just ride it all the way up because of Apple. This goes all the way back to 1 o'clock. This is when the Apple event started, and then since then, it's just been straight to the upside. So yeah, it looks like we'll step up and get hit a little bit here on Apple, but we're not going to cry over spill or on Tesla. May not go to the upside, but yeah, here it goes. We are starting to get accelerated now as the NASDAQ is looking. Yeah, there it goes. So the NASDAQ is going to take this out, and there goes Tesla. Tesla has so much juice to it right now. Shorting this one, put that in my feather, and remember that for tomorrow. Not to be shorted unless the market is pretty weak, because Tesla on a nice little move back up. I hate ending it with a loser, but maybe we'll find something else that we can win on. What's up, Neil?
Wow, strong market we have here today. I talked about in a Sector Watch, a lot of healthcare was very strong. One of the things Andy Jassy was talking about when he came on and was giving some bumps up there in Amazon was how he believed in that One Medical. So they ditched their own service, but they're like, no, we're reiterating that we think it's a good idea for One Medical. But this THC Tenet Healthcare is the strongest of the bunch. Triple top, $60. Up 9% here, and sometimes it's about setting things up for the next day. And this has now filled in a pretty big gap as long as it's above said $60 level. So THC going to be on the radar, I think, for tomorrow's trade. As you mentioned, there is that slight imbalance there, Sean. But the bigger story is we're about 15 points away on the ES from 4,000 on the S&P 500. So I guess we're within earshot of that key level.
We back, baby, on all of that. Our AMD trade, we did get out of that one when it broke back below. We actually overfilled long and got out, overfilled short and got out, which was good because we had 2 orders to get out there. We didn't look at our orders properly on that one. Yeah, it is interesting that the S&P is right back up to, close enough to 4,000. And man, the NASDAQ ran away from that 12,000 as well. There's 12,000 right here. We talked about that in the pre-market. Would we ever see it? I thought we would, but we didn't. Even when this was breaking back down, that's some of the hesitancy there. That's at about 10 o'clock where we made that bottom of the day. of the open market, and then boom, straight to the upside, and really no love since then for any shorts because all the way to that upside goes the market. So again, congratulations on anybody that was able to pick up those bottoms. We're still in Meta. I mean, despite, first of all, our out was going to be 160. I mean, where is my out there? 160.40. It went down to 160.45, so we were very close to getting out of that one. Now you're at 161 with these imbalances coming out. This is probably worth just getting out on the top, man. Like, this makes that last Tesla trade, a little bit easier to swallow as this just, wow, Meta. A big move, man. Look where you guys know where we're long down here, 157. Please hit the like button. Thanks to True Trading Group for hitting that up as well. Hit the like button if you can. We'd like to get to at least 1,500. What are we at now? I haven't even looked yet. We're only at 951. What? Okay, those imbalances are coming out very, very soon. I want to thank all 5,000 for watching, though. And if you can hit that like button, that would be great. All right, so let's disable this. And now we're going to wait to see. As you can see, all these imbalances are from 9:30. That's the last time they were published because they were market on open. Now market on close imbalances come out. And again, we are, I believe, the only show or the only place you're going to be able to find this. So again, let's see if we can take advantage of that, see if there's anything that comes a dramatic sell or buy one way or the other. You know what, man? I'm just going to, Meta's at 161. Debating just closing this trade, but we have our out a little bit lower. All right, let's just wait to see. Maybe the market comes out the other way and we can take advantage of that. So, all right, here we go with now only 8 seconds. And if you are elsewhere, it's 350, 349, 56. 57, 58, so you can find out what your latency is. And here it is. Okay, 3M. Ooh, now a buy I just saw. TAL VIPS shops there. That's a small stock. Zed. Nah, that's not Zoom. As you go down here, Intel with a short, but not many shares. You can see, let's see what this is doing for Intel. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Ooh, the Intel short, you can see that printed about 5 or 6 cents there. Anything else up here? 3M, a nice little buy. Probably sparked the stock a little bit. Remember, they had that lawsuit that they were talking about. What the? Okay, that's nothing happening to 3M. Got some bad prints there, it looks like. Okay, nothing new on that one. The market is coming to the downside right now. So I think let's just get out of Meta. If we can offer out a Meta right now, we'll do that and get out. And there it is right there. We just put it back over to Meta. We just got out there as we took out a 75. I just look at the NASDAQ printing to the downside. Neil just gave it to us. Oh, no, sorry. I don't know if you know what the net number was there, Neil, but probably to the... I don't know, it might be mixed. I'm just going to react to what the NASDAQ did. The NASDAQ ticked lower, so that's why we got out of Meta. Let's see if that comes out, but looks like it's going to be a net, probably flat. There's Uber with 1 million shares to buy. We can double check to see what that's doing. Actually, yeah, so it comes out there and then ticks down. So Uber actually to the downside. This is not like, just because something comes out there, Neil said it was 40 million to buy. So yeah, comes out a nothing burger. And as you can see, I'm going to stop talking about them because there's not much on there. Sometimes they come out, even if they come out a buy, you can still reverse the other way, right? And so there you go. That's just the market on close and balances, and not much happening. Did Meta was a good out? Yeah, Meta was a good out. And then where's Tesla right now? Okay, so Tesla's still flashing around where we were out at. So all right, so far so good. What a great show. I just checked back, 1.1K now. We're getting closer.
Nice.
Thank you so much for all that, and I hope that it's a positive day here. My account's back to positive. We took a big hit there early on Neo, but made it back with some of those bangers that you guys saw. So far so good here. And remember we talked about PayPal today, and I was like how good that 90 level was, and it was brought to me by one of the viewers. And again, look how good that 90 level was, man. I mean, you didn't even come close to it. It hit 92 and then Rip City for PayPal. Nice to see this name approaching $100. I think it'll take that at some point. PayPal definitely has gotten beat up. It didn't deserve the market cap that it had when it was here at 300. Obviously, software as service and fintech was going crazy. Last year, we all know that. And then reality struck and $70 bottom there. But, you're up 30%, 40% from the bottom. So, a take of 102 and PayPal flies, I think, to 130 here.
Yeah, great day overall. And just kind of reviewing everything, ask yourself at the end of the day, what could you have done differently? Don't say, I shouldn't have done that. You're so dumb. Just learn from your mistakes and move on, right? That's what I'm doing for the day. And if your tools are not working, sign off and back on again, because that seems to fix everything here.
Oh, so, good. That worked?
Oh, yeah, it did. Yep. Did you try turning it off and back on again? That actually works all the time. So I was like, yeah, for anybody listening, guys in the back too, try that, and it works for future reference. Yeah, guys, that snap level, that 1160, I mean, tomorrow, come on. I mean, if we set up nicely for that, it's going to be solid. You know, we're holding for now, and then, I mean, aftermarket, anything could happen. See where we open up. But yeah, all eyes on that 1160 for myself going into tomorrow. We'll see what happens there. And I want to quickly revisit AMD back at that 80. Sometimes, guys, you know, when things are working for you and you're like, oh, like, should I sell? I'm having FOMO. Like, I kind of feel greedy. Maybe it's going to run without me. Keep in mind that, like, prices spend so much time around certain areas, giving you ample amounts of time. So it's like, if you didn't get out the first time, you could have got out the second time. And there's a great trader who once said, you know, the market is basically telling you, here's your money. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? No? Okay, here's your money again. Do you want it? No? Okay, it's gone forever. And, you know, then kind of breaking 80 and now acting as that resistance. So, you know, AMD, pretty nice levels there. That 78 to 78.50, I guess, is the bottom. I think we're going back up. We got the bull. To share the bigger screen there. We got the bull going. So I guess, you know, like find those bottoms, you know, rely on them. Hopefully they hold and we make moves back to the upside and things get interesting.
I really got to talk to, my YouTube just crashed again because I ran onto RAM again. Like, it's like every day, if I leave YouTube running all day, it basically crashes there at the end. So, all right, wow, okay, just quickly before we go, a trade that we just put on, I'm gonna try to get this out. This is making me forget all about Tesla, although it's obviously not as big as a winner, but we did put on more shares. We basically just went long in front of 156. I'm just gonna get these out now on Apple. That just spiked up there on the 355 reverse, so I don't know. It was only 10 cents, but it was fun. That just happened to the upside there. We went long there. It's probably going to break 156, but we got out of a lot there as that ripped right back up. And we just took like 15 cents there almost instantly on that move back up to the upside. So a good now it's going to break, but here it comes right back down and break, and now we're out. So wow, that was fun temporarily there. All right, let's go back over to Neil, and I think we got the board up to see who's reporting tomorrow.
Yeah, earnings season is winding down, to be sure, but there's a few names on that board that maybe we didn't talk about them today, but at least one of them, I feel like it's going to have a tiny little move, or at least something happening after market here. Of course, I'm talking about GameStop, Billy tomorrow morning as well. So it's pretty light. Dave and Buster's every now and then is fun to play around with.
Also fun to attend Dave & Buster's. You've been to Dave & Buster's before? Yep. There was one in Woodbridge there.
Yep, still there.
Oh, still there. Okay.
Still a good time.
I wasn't sure if it was still a good time or not, but okay. You know what? If there's a Dave & Buster's, well, we have some options in Toronto. I was going to say that would be a kind of a cool place to take everybody. You know, you could drink, play vids, play some pool. You getting good at foosball?
No. I'll face you, though.
No, you don't want to if you're not good at it.
That could be a good game.
No, it can't. If you're not good at it, you said.
I'm terrible, no.
Then it won't be a good game.
Yeah.
So I know you don't want to face me at it, but that would be fun. Yeah, we could do that. We could live stream that. That'd be hype. Okay,
place
so.
Your bets.
What?
I said place your bets. We can live stream.
What, this guy pulling my chain in here? Maybe he is good at foosball. I don't know. We'll have to see. I feel like this is like a Lucas Fahad bowling thing here. I don't know. Maybe I have to sharpen up a bit on that one. I don't want to trash talk too much. Like, I used to be really good at pool and darts and all that. And then foosball, of course, you got to go back to the roots. You know, I thought, you know, fellow paisan over here, and that's why I think you might be pulling my chain on that. So, all right, just quickly here, Neo. I mean, whatever, man. I mean, we only have now 3 minutes left. It's near the bottom of the range. Let's just put a bid out and get out of that. I mean, we'll ring the register on that, as today we failed on going short early, but definitely hit that. We just went short too early, that's all. Next time something goes parabolic, please start yelling at me and everything in the chat, and then we'll see where there is going. Yeah, you've got on the bulletproof vest, people think, so that's why you're a little more brave about the foosball. But here it comes. We're going to get out of Neo right now. Only 2.5 minutes left. Again, thanks to True Trading Group. Definitely check them out, and thank you so much for those super chats. Sorry, for the free memberships. Make sure that all y'all hit that up for sure.
Yeah, guys, and last trade of the day, we are approaching the close. We got about 2 minutes to go here, and you know, that 156 level on Apple was good for the bounce, and I mean, I didn't play the bounce, and I figured if we break, maybe it's good for a short scalp. And this is, again, I understand that like maybe a lot of people watching are trading with brokers that, you know, you can't really trade like this. You're not going for 10-cent moves. It doesn't make sense. At Day Trade the World, it's we're fortunate enough to be able to have market making capabilities. So, route to certain gateways, take a bunch of fills. So for me, that was a no-brainer. Take the 156 break, cover, holding the last piece, and maybe we flash down. See, in my mind, I'm like, we can flash down to 155.66, but we only got a minute left to go here. Come on, let's go. But yeah, no, if I don't get the fill there, I was thinking to MOC it, be kind of sophisticated there, but whatever, maybe not. Maybe just make my life simple, keep it simple. If we flash down, break this 80, we got a minute left here, so I'm not, why am I even talking about a trade idea here? Yeah, no, this is, it is where it is, wherever it closes, at the close, lots of volume does come in, and I see Apple here, it is a buy. But if that flips for whatever reason to a sell, maybe we get the the whiplash, and it'll look really good if it just gives me the fill down here. But if it doesn't, whatever, I just kind of break even on the last piece there. So whatever, is what it is. 1 minute left to go, but yeah, I'm done, man. I'm done. End of the day, I'm tired, and I can't wait to hit the sauna.
Ooh, the sauna, very nice. I like how you threw that in at the end.
At the end, you guys got to hit the sauna.
Yada 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 yada. The sauna. Yeah, I like that. We do have. Tony on the bell here. As the market's trying to give back a little bit, I promise this time I will hit the countdown at the right time. As you can notice, it's normally Neil's job, and that's why I've missed it. Not a job, but normally what he does. And I've missed it now, I think, 3 or 4 times in a row, so both on the open and on the close, and I will look to do it properly here today as we go. Thank you so much, man. People calling us the Soprano Brothers. Great show. Thank you so much. We really, really like all that. And just, thank you to continue to support us. What you could do is definitely hit the like button. Okay, Tony, you're going to be on time today. So there it is. We now hit it with only 10 seconds left. There's Tony. It's, we did not have Tuesdays with Tony, did we? But here we go. Coming on right now with 2 and 1. There we go. Thank you to Tony, and thank you to everybody for watching. I did want to look quickly before we left at Gsat. Gsat made that move down to 190, now back to 205. Someone asked me what to swing tomorrow. I would honestly, I don't normally say it. I normally pick a large cap stock, but I like the potential for Gsat tomorrow. I don't know. Why can't we retest that $3? We could come in tomorrow and you're up here already. So I don't know. We'll see about Gsat. I just feel like that news is good. But don't get me wrong. I haven't read through the report or anything. I know they also had a debt offering apparently as well. So, more news on that. But I think that Gsat could be one of the ones tomorrow. If you're looking at the social indicators and those boards and things like that, I believe, please don't just buy it now. I'm seeing a lot of people buying this right now because I don't know. But anyways, I think that this one could be the runner for tomorrow. Dilution. Yeah, no, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know exactly what happened with the share structure, but it wouldn't be surprised to me. You get Apple. It's just like when everybody announces, oh, we got a deal with Amazon. Like, they don't know what the deal is, but it's just like, buy. Yeah. Remember, like, when they got that with Peloton? Peloton shot to like $13. Now it's back to $9 or whatever it is. So just be careful. But here it goes, up a couple pennies here in the aftermarket is Gsat. All right, back over to the big desk, and let's see how we finished.
I finally got the quote board working for the first time today. It is accurate, and the markets are to the upside. The S&P almost 2%, 1.75. Who cares about the Dow? The NASDAQ finished up a full 2%. Crude oil futures down 5%, but it's all about the strength in the market after that beige book and the Apple event taking things to that upside. Strong rebound day in the markets we just had, and of course, we'll get GameStop after the bell. Haven't really seen that cross the wire just yet, but should be a bit of a mover.
All right, yeah, we will pay attention for all of that. The trade of the day today, I believe, was Meta, and you guys saw that one. Just continue to go to the upside as well, so we're really happy with the way that trade obviously worked out as well. So, hey, man, a very, very big day, and we're glad to have Luca back with us 2 more days. So he'll be here Thursday, then he'll be here Friday, and then the boys are back in town, and we'll have that for you on Monday, because no more holidays now until U.S. Thanksgiving, I believe. We have our Thanksgiving in October, but no rest for the wicked there, because the U.S. markets will be open, and so will we be on. So thank you so much, Bears versus Bulls. I want to thank you as well for the moderation and for the show and for everything that that you do for us to keep us going and keep the chat going, and even some of the other things that you do behind the scenes as well. So thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you to True Trading. I think I mentioned them a lot here, so that's really great. Thank you for all your support on those free memberships. Big thanks to everybody working the board today. Mark was working like a madman, getting this desk and getting the screen all ready to go. We're very, very excited. And again, that's what some of those memberships bring, right? We have a wicked booyaka. You gotta put these on when you're doing that there. Because you know who we're looking like now. Borat.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Where we got that going on. Yeah. It's Ali G as the guy. It's Ali G as the guy. The thing is, I need to get... Ali G, man. Yeah, Ali G. Yeah, Ali G. So anyways, what we're doing now is we got a wicked desk. Yeah, there it is. Show Luca's screen. Oh, yeah, you can show that too. But show Luca's screen right now if you can. Quickly, there it is. Yeah. Booyaka. So there it is right there. Yeah, we're getting that desk ready to rock and roll. And for a green screen, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I want to thank... These are bugging me. I want to thank everybody as well for the show. A lot of fun today. Thanks to Neil. Thanks to you, Luca. Thanks to the midday guys as well. Thanks, Fahad, Liz, Lucas. I think that's his name over there in the hat. And just thank you to everybody. It was a big show. Thank you for hitting the like button. And you know what the best part about it is, boys? We're back tomorrow at 8:30, so join us tomorrow at 8:30. The whole team will be back in town, and the market, I promise you, will be rocking once again. So see everybody tomorrow. Have a great night from everybody here at Trader TV Live. Ciao.